Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Well, look, if the Nielsen show can start at 6:04 every day, we can start at 3:04 every once in a while. How you doing, everybody? Reid Wilkins show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We got an Elks game to get you ready for. That is Saturday at 5 o'clock on Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. At 4 o'clock here on EST on Saturday, the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jason Milne and with Matthew Awanek. Oilers lost last night to the Seattle Kraken. Oh, it was a preseason game. I was just covered in preseason juices. It was just like I had bathed in the primordial ooze of the preseason.
Ooh.
You know, and I was coming out of it all slick and soggy, and I was just taking a preseason primordial ooze bath.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was just wonderful. What a wonderful hockey game. Ryder Cup tomorrow. Blue Jays getting ready for the playoffs, or are they? Oh, they're losing a lot with the playoffs around the corner. We'll discuss that with Ian Harrison from the Associated Press. Is he joining us from, what do they call that building now? Rogers Center?
The Skydome.
No, the Skydome's not what it's called anymore.
Well, that's what I'll call it.
Rogers Place is here.
Mm-hmm.
Rogers Arena is in Vancouver. And I think Rogers Center is the Skydome, as you actually put it. They should have called it that. They should have pronounced it that way.
The Skydome?
Yeah, and they could have said that the games started at a boot 707.
Well, it's Rogers Center because Toronto's the center of the universe.
It really is.
Yes.
Have you been to a game there?
At the Skydome?
Yes.
Nay.
I went to a game there, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago. Yeah, and there'd been some renovations at that time, and now there were more leading into this season.
I want to go there and get a hotel there. You know, the one
in
where
Windows
the
restaurant.
balcony,
Yeah.
Your hotel room overlooks the field. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could just watch a game and drink champagne.
Yeah. Look down on all your...
You could wave your glass.
Yeah. Hello.
Hit it here.
Look at me.
Fill my glass. So that's the River Lion.
Yes.
Yeah, hit one here, boy. Yes. I dare you. Oh, run for me. Steal second. He wouldn't be a good third base coach because he would just yell out.
Yeah,
like, steal second on this play, boy.
Yeah.
Riverline, we got to use signs. We don't want them to bunt. Bunt here, boy. Use the stick to bunt. Use the giant chopstick as a bunting instrument.
He can't help himself.
No, he just can't shut up.
He just can't shut up.
He's used to being the king. He's the Riverline.
He's a one-man show.
He's the king of the river crossing.
He's never had anybody to call him out.
No,
right?
But now he's in society.
Now he's in with the people. And
he's a lion out of water. No, he's a lion out of the jungle.
He might not like what the people have to say. Our dear old river lion.
Yeah. So the Blue Jays play today. But they're in the playoffs.
Well, they're tied.
Everybody makes the playoffs now in baseball. Everybody gets in. Everybody gets in. Hey, Detroit lose 20 games in a row. You'll be in.
Yeah.
They might not be in, I guess. Anyway, the Oilers were off today. We will go over some. I asked some questions last night.
To the River Lion or
no? To Mangiapane.
Oh,
to Atro Leppenan, or as I call him, Def Leppenan.
Oh yeah,
there we go. I really hope he makes the team now.
He's turning some heads. No,
he can. Yeah, he can move. Okay, and we'll do more on the Oilers Understood. Here's my thing with him. What does he do that the Oilers don't have defensemen already doing?
Exactly.
Right. That's his thing.
The Oilers have a plethora of puck-moving defensemen.
Yeah, they can get the puck up the ice.
Yeah.
Now that's a big part of the game, obviously. But hey, good for him that he's getting some attention. It was a lackluster game last night. We'll talk more about it in the Oilers Understood. But it was like, all right, let's get going here.
Yeah. I mean, this is a preseason game.
Yeah. Now, next year, 4 preseason games. Long overdue. Long overdue. Which will be nice. I think the regular season next year is going to start around now. It's going to start late September. So that'll be different. Mm-hmm. Okay. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks. That's available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can email Jay by using jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. You can email me by using Reid, R-E-I-D, @edmontonsportstalk.com. Our Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week is coming up later today. It is a pickleball player who is under the age of 20. I imagine when I said pickleball player, maybe most people thought of a more seasoned individual. But this is a very young person who is a pickleball. Like, would we say a pickleball sensation, like a national star?
Yes. Well, he's playing on Team Canada.
Travels to play pickleball?
Yeah.
And from where?
Sherwood Park.
No, that's just east of the city here.
Yeah, just over there.
Is that yeah, that is the right direction.
I am looking north.
You're looking, that's north.
You are looking west.
Yes. Yeah, so I was a little disoriented.
Koob is looking east-southeast.
To Millwoods, where he'll live someday.
He would be looking more, Reid, towards Capilano.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It's good to know the exact directions. But I give out those emails and mention the Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week because that's how we get a lot of our athletes is by listeners saying, hey, this person is pretty cool. They're doing cool stuff. And maybe feature them on the show. So the jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. You got an email from somebody who suggested a couple athletes today.
Yes, very good athletes, I might add.
Here's a little behind the scenes of this show. Jay has totally, to your credit, taken on the responsibilities for Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week, which I appreciate.
Sure.
To the point that I had a couple contacts for athletes of the week. Like I have the person's numbers.
Yes.
I know the stories. In one case, I've even talked to the person. So I emailed Jay all the information.
You have to email.
Well, you got to approve him. You got to approve him and book him. So anyway, Athlete of the Week coming up later today. Ian Harrison covering the Blue Jays and a bunch of other fun stuff as well. Okay, we better do this right now because my fault. We ran out of time to do it yesterday.
You were talking about it yesterday.
I was talking about it yesterday. And I wonder if people were like, I wanted a chance to win, and now they're not doing it, or did I miss it? So we have 4 tickets, so we're doing it now.
Well, yeah, and this game
is a big game.
Almost sold out.
The lower bowl, yeah.
These seats are highly coveted.
So
4 in a row, Reid.
We're giving away...
At least I hope they're 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're just 4 single seats. No, 4 tickets to the Elks Riders, Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium, Saturday at 5.
Play Alberta.
Courtesy Play Alberta. But you got to answer a trivia question, and we will only accept answers texted in. So don't post in the nasty chat. Don't email us. Don't drive over to the station and stand in the parking lot yelling at the window. 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort Casino inbox. The last time the Elks beat the Riders, or the Double E, beat the Riders at Commonwealth Stadium was August 2nd, 2018. Who were the 2 starting quarterbacks in that game? Who was Edmonton's quarterback? Who was Saskatchewan's quarterback? What are you laughing at? Did somebody get it already?
No. Tube Socks sent in a photo of
I've seen that.
He
emailed me that. Tube Socks is quite proud of that photo.
It's a good look.
Speaking of which...
What was the question again?
Who were the 2 starting quarterbacks in August of 2018 when the Double E last beat the Riders? They just need the 2 names.
Gotcha.
You don't have to say who was who, though I think people will know who was who. It's time for the Bear headlines. Afternoon headlines, courtesy 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. This is Chet Palmer with your sports headlines. Hey, whoever thought of this kooky Thursday night football? It's the Seahawks and the Cardinals tonight. Good golly, Miss Molly, is this the NFL or some kind of bird zoo? All the CFL's starting QBs have left the mesh unit behind. These precious prime pivots are ready to go in Week 17. Hey, Radar, let Hawkeye know he gets the weekend off. What are these European golfers going to do on this side of the pond in the Ryder Cup? They won't be serving tea and crumpets at Bethpage Black. Call me crazy, but I think Rory and his buddies are going to wind up black and blue. I'm Chet Palmer. Well, now you know everything that's going on. He's a fan of MASH, apparently.
Yeah. Radar.
Yeah. Hawkeye.
What was the other guy's name? Klinger?
There was Klinger was the Jamie Farr, the cross-dresser, right?
Yeah.
Hot Lips Houlihan. Frank Burns. Wasn't there a BJ Honeycutt? I was looking at the cast list today.
BJ Honeycutt.
Yeah, I was trying to think of two.
Who was the boss? Like, who was the major?
I don't know, actually. Who was the boss in MASH? I don't know. Where can I find this now? So I had my, oh, no, that's wrong. Who was the boss in MASH? Was there a general or?
Well, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake.
Maybe.
Played by McLean Stevenson. There was also Colonel Sherman Potter. Played by Harry Morgan.
El Presidente says it was Colonel Potter. Yeah. Well, VR says it was Trapper John. There wasn't Trapper John MD a show of its own when he got back from Korea? Colonel Potter and Colonel Blake, according to James.
Yeah.
Anyway, MASH was a very popular show.
Very. Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere that when it ended in Manhattan, it created some kind of weird water shortage because everybody went to the bathroom after it ended and all the toilets flushing at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Created some kind of distress on the on the water system in New York. Fascinating stuff, Jay.
This is. I'm learning so much on this show.
Are you gonna do Thursday Night Football for Jay's Play of the Day? Little tease?
No.
Oh, it isn't? Well, I think I tweeted that it was.
I did a Thursday Night Football play on the Lock Shop earlier.
Oh, that's what you did.
I hosted with Hustler, and we cooked something up pretty good.
Now, what else did you cook up with Huss today?
What about
leading into the off-topic topic here?
Oh, well, poor Huss. At least this is what he's told us: is they don't have the ability to get a Freezy or a Slurpee or a Froster and put soft serve ice cream on top of it. The young kids refer to it as a screamer. Is that right, Coop? What do you call it?
Really?
I call it a Slurpee with ice cream.
Okay, that's what it is.
Young kids aren't very creative.
What do you think of that, Chet?
A Slurpee with ice cream? What are they going to think of next? Cooked beef between two buns?
So Huss had never had that, never seen it. He was quite interested about the process. So I told him I would go after the Lock Shop. You were nice enough to come along with me. And we went to a Circle K, and I did a video tutorial that's on my Twitter feed at Jason Milne. And he quite liked it. So yeah, it was interesting that it's available here and not available there, or at least according to him. And yeah, it just takes a Slurpee and it kind of turns it into a
and he's never had one?
A drinkable creamsicle is what I would say.
Like, I'm not a big Slurpee / slushy, whatever.
I'm not really
I used to get the occasional Froster at Max.
Okay.
Well, in university, I lived above a Max for a couple of years.
Really?
Well, you know the Sir John Franklin on 11th and 87th? There was a Max in the main floor.
Sure there
I don't
was.
know, but you have to go outside.
I don't even know if Max are still around.
I think there's still Max.
I don't know if there are. I know 7-Eleven's
I thought they all
gone.
rebranded to Circle K.
Did they rebrand?
Well, 7-Elevens are going out of style.
Are they?
Everything's, I think it's
Isn't there
Circle K
still a
or-
Max
That's
on
all
116th and 104th?
Damned if I know.
It's like in my neighborhood. I've been in it. Maybe it's called something else.
might be
and I
called
still call
something
it the
else.
Max.
Okay. Matt said there's a difference between a Slurpee and a Froster.
Who said that?
Matt.
Awanik?
Awanik.
Well, because of course he has to find a reason to argue about everything.
So I went with Reid out of the kindness of my heart. I asked around the office. I said, who would like a Slurpee? Because that's what I call them. Coob didn't want one. Trev wanted one. Dusty wanted one. Matt wanted one.
Right, and I didn't want one, though I came along. I bought some chips.
So I go and we come back and he says, oh, these are Frosters. You said you were going for a Slurpee. I said, come on, man. You got to be.
Oh, so does Circle K have the Frosters now?
Yeah.
Does Max still exist?
And I'm like, get out of here. And he's like, no, seriously, Slurpees taste different than Frosters. What are we talking about here?
Well, yeah, Max is done. It's now Circle K. So those would have been Frosters that we got.
Yeah.
Because Max had technically.
Well, Frosters.
It's a slushy.
It's a Slurpee.
The slushy is the overall thing, yeah.
And this guy
ruins everything. Ruins our fun.
Palatial glassed-in office.
And his chair made out of pure silver.
Yeah, with its own air.
Many of our fillings, by the way.
Right. I mean, where does he get off saying that they're different?
He doesn't. He shouldn't. He's poor form.
Yeah, he's crazy.
So you had something that Huss had not had or can't get in Winnipeg. Bottom line. So our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. We would like you to know, we would like you to tell us about regional food options / differences.
I'm excited about
something that, and I mean, within Canada would be really fun. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I went to Portugal and you can go to an oceanside cafe and watch them catch your fish, right? Like, okay, sure. But little things like this, Huss is 2 provinces over. I mean, if you really needed to, you could drive to Winnipeg in a day.
If you needed to push Slurpees and do it.
We could do it, yeah. So it's not that far away.
Get a cooler.
But Huss claims in Winnipeg he can't get the slushy with ice cream on top.
Well, here's the thing, though. Huss is very loyal to 7-Eleven. I'm sure there's Circle K's in Winnipeg that probably have this. You might just have to look around the corner.
Yeah. Expand his horizons.
Well, like Caesars. Caesars are very Canadian.
Caesars started in Canada.
You don't, like, Clamato juice is Canadian only.
Oh, right.
Like in the U.S., I believe it's a Bloody Mary. And they use tomato juice. Now, I know Clamato juice is a take on tomato juice. I don't know. Maybe it has clams in it. I don't know.
Well, but there are regional differences. I mean, I'll say something. Ketchup chips. They don't have them in the States.
Mars bars.
We know that. Chuba Hubbard had to get them sent to Carolina.
That's right.
And show them to his Panthers teammates.
Now, I will say this.
Wait, Mars bars are not where?
I don't think Mars bars exist in something like that. One of the bars. It doesn't exist in the U.S.
Oh, really? Okay.
Maybe I'm off with Mars
So
bars.
regional food differences / options is our off-topic topic.
But they only have M&Ms there, I think. Smarties down there are called Rockets. Like our Smarties?
Yeah.
Chocolate-covered candy? A Smartie down there is what we refer to as a rocket.
Okay, but ultimately that's just a different name.
That's just a different name.
The item is available.
Get this. Do you know that ginger beef was invented in Calgary?
Really?
Yes. I had no idea. We're in the hotbed of ginger beef.
So ginger beef, Calgary. Were Donaires Edmonton or the Maritimes?
I would have to probably say the Maritime.
But green onion cakes are Edmonton.
Yes.
And I don't think they have green onion cakes coast to coast. Like my cousins from KW, I don't think if I went to KW and I said, let's go get a green onion cake, they would probably say, we can't, Reid. We're going to go back to Edmonton. All right.
I don't know send them in.
Send them in.
Send them in because, I mean, like, I don't know. I just don't know, but is Kubasa big in, it's a Ukrainian hotbed around Edmonton.
Yeah.
A lot of Ukrainians lived here and immigrated here and to this area, in Vegreville specifically, in Mundare. Is Kubasa a real thing outside of this? Like, I think Kubasa to me is a top 5 grab and go meat.
Well, you can get a ring of sausage anywhere.
Yeah, but Kubasa, I know like a good Stanichi's Kubasa. I don't know. Is it normal? I know Schneider's has rings of sausage, garlic sausage, but I don't know if it holds up.
Oh, probably not.
Can you put that on a stick and hover it over an open fire? make your taste buds explode? I don't know.
You could put anything on a stick and hover it over an open fire.
Could you?
All right. 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That's the off-topic topic for William Huff. By the way, you can get us audio streaming, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. We realize if you're listening, you're already doing that. Spread the word. Tell a coworker, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a random person in your life, hey, Edmonton Sports Talk, here are these guys. Look at them go. You may remember some of these guys from some of their other stations in the past. Maybe you're a big Jay Milne fan from when he played Bears football. Let people know that he's here too. If you're on YouTube, thank you. Subscribe to the station and click that thumbs up button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, it's 3:25. Oh, name the animals coming up today. But we got your Oilers clips and some discussion about last night's game when we get back.
NHL preseason has 6 games on tap. Dallas on the road in Mini. The Mammoth face the Knights, while the Leafs and Habs drop the puck at 5 o'clock. In the NFL, Jaden Daniels was limited for the second straight day for the Commanders with a knee injury. Bill Krosky, Merritt, and Terry McLaurin also not participating in practice. As for the Jets, Justin Fields was in practice, participating in non-contact drills as he works his way back from a concussion suffered in Week 2 against Buffalo. He'll start for New York Monday against Miami if he's cleared for action. Tonight, the Seahawks and Cardinals flap their wings. Join Lieutenant Eric for the game down at Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. Kickoff at 6:15. Out east, the Jays play the Red Sox, closing out their series. Louis Varland to the mound. First pitch at 5:07. The Jays look to regain sole position for top spot in the AL East, tied with the Yankees entering the game tonight. The Yankees do play the White Sox just after 5. 2 games are underway. Dodgers leading the D-backs 8-0 in the 6th. Athletics are down 9 runs against the Astros in the 5th. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. Some Oilers conversation brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
The thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Bouchard.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Fall football and your living room just became the fan zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. It's 3:29. He's Jason, or Jay as some would call him, the glue guy as others would call him. I'm Reid. How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. 4 tickets to see the Elks and Riders play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium on Saturday. Jay, do we have a winner?
We do. Now the winner is Dave in Barhead. So I reached out.
Okay.
And we've had this happen where maybe hopefully he can use them.
I hope so.
Taking his kids, taking his wife, whatever. So yeah, Dave in Barhead, I've reached out to you and I'd love to get you those tickets. So just respond.
All right. So the question was, who were the 2 starting quarterbacks in the game August 2nd, 2018 at Commonwealth? Edmonton 26, Saskatchewan 19. Last time the Green and Gold won a home game against the Riders. The answers are
Mike Riley and Zach Collaros.
Oh! Collaros says a Rider. How about that? All right. And that was Riley's last season, right? Yeah, because then Harris came in 2019. So there you have it. So Dave and Barhead, the winner. So hopefully you can get the tickets. If not, you got a silver and bronze medalist lined up. So then we'll move down the list if needed. All time in Edmonton, the Elks franchise 75-39-2 against Saskatchewan, but the Riders have won 7 in a row and 8 of the last 9.
Oh,
yeah. But there are long stretches of Saskatchewan rarely winning at Commonwealth Stadium.
And just to be clear, you've given them no hope on Saturday, right?
I think the Riders should be heavily favored, and I think they are. What's the line? I don't think it's no hope for the Elks, but if you're asking me who I would pick, head only, no heart, I would pick the Riders. How can you not?
Yep, 5-point favorites are the Riders.
Okay, that's probably fair.
Yep.
But I think the Elks could be, I think the Elks are capable of pulling off an upset, but it would be an upset. Now so Adams is playing, Collaros is playing, and is the most significant return Alexander in Montreal in your mind?
I would say so.
Well, he hasn't lost a game he's started, right, in his young career. So
I don't know. Vernon Adams being available is also huge.
That's big because I feel that's a pretty big drop off to the backup.
PJ Walker just
hasn't been good when he's played.
Doesn't take care of the ball.
Right. But that's Calgary at Montreal.
Huge game.
Okay, so what's a perfect weekend for the Elks?
Oh, this is fun. Let's dive into it. Reid.
Okay, I would say Montreal beats... I don't even know anymore. I would say... you know what? I don't think that matters. I don't know if that game really... I guess let's say Montreal beats Calgary. Because maybe if Calgary doesn't win another game...
Well, that's it.
So let's say Montreal. Let's say Montreal.
Montreal's 5.5-point favorites.
That much, eh?
That seems like a lot.
I would say an ideal weekend for the Elks is Montreal wins. I guess you have to say Toronto beats BC.
Yeah, for sure.
Hamilton beats Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Hamilton is irrelevant to the Elks, except when they played them, right?
Yeah.
So you want Montreal to win at home, Toronto to win on the road, Hamilton to win on the road, and then obviously the Elks to win their own game.
That would be
a perfect week, and then the Elks would be 2 points behind both Winnipeg and BC, and then Toronto would still be ahead of them for a potential crossover, but with some games left to play.
Guess what? Perfect weekend outcome is parlay-wise. If you got Montreal, Toronto, Hamilton, and Edmonton winning.
So I got to go by the plus minus.
It's obviously a major plus.
Plus 1,700.
Not bad.
Well, I could be an odds guy.
So you're saying 17-1. It's actually 24.5-1.
Oh,
plus
and that's
24,
just straight
55.
up, or that's against
That's
the spread?
straight up.
Straight up. Those 4 teams.
Montreal wins. Toronto wins.
Well, because
Hamilton
Toronto would be a
wins.
big underdog.
Plus
wouldn't they?
239. They're major underdogs.
Okay.
But Nick Arbuckle's back, if that means anything. BC has been Jekyll and Hyde. They've looked really good one week and then fallen off the next week. So, I mean, that's an interesting one if you want to, I think I did this last week and the first leg, it was over.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a long shot for a reason.
Yep. Well, good point. Mm-hmm. All right. So that is getting you ready for the Elks and Saskatchewan. We have the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood.
Their best one yet.
That was pretty good. So, did you tune into last night's game? Did you stream it? Did you buy Oilers Plus?
I did not.
You did not. Imagine that. Seattle won 4-1 over the Oilers. It was a game lacking emotion and intensity. Connor McDavid went -3. Leon Draisaitl went -3. Trent Frederic went -3. Mattias Ekholm went -2. Evan Bouchard went -2. So I thought that McDavid and Draisaitl were exciting and generated chances, and they're killing penalties, and I think they will kill penalties during the season, which we'll get into. I also think that they were just mucking around, not mucking in terms of forechecking, like fooling around. Like you see Draisaitl trying some of these passes where it's like, okay, you're never going to do that in a real game, or overpassing. So and you brought this up. So Ekholm had a 2-on-1 with Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid made a nice play to pinch in and keep it in the offense, in Seattle's zone.
Right.
Ekholm comes screaming down the wall, and it turned into an in-zone 2-on-1.
Right.
And yeah, I looked back on it and I had to laugh because Connor was pissed. He didn't pass it to him. Connor was waiting there, stick up, ready to pull the trigger about 3 times, and Ekholm delivered a shot that Connor McDavid looked back at him originally and was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Do you not know who I am? And then when he was skating around the net, I kind of flipped his hand and, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was there wasn't a lot of intensity. The Oilers did outshoot Seattle, but okay.
Connor McDavid doesn't extend before the season. I'm blaming that play.
I'm going to blame this play that Ekholm wouldn't pass to him.
Yeah.
I know there's always a lot of talk about Stuart Skinner's game. Again, it is a preseason game. I know there's a lot of baggage and analysis with Skinner. He allowed 3 goals on 18 shots. I thought the first one was a power play where he stopped a shot from point blank, and there was an unchecked guy on either side of him. So wherever the rebound was going, somebody was swiping it in.
Yeah.
He made probably, I'd say 3 or 4 really good saves. The Oilers were not tight defensively in this game. The second goal, he got beat by a guy all alone in front. Yes, you'd like it stopped. The third goal didn't look great, given what we've seen from Skinner in the past. Kind of went off his right hip, and he couldn't squeeze it and went in. But it is a preseason game. I'm not going to tear McDavid apart for -3, so I'm not necessarily going to tear Skinner apart.
You're not going to overreact?
No, I'm not.
Are you a wake me when February's here? After the Olympics?
I'll be awake for the regular season.
Matt just doesn't care about.
I was awake at last night's game, barely. It's not a large crowd last night either.
No.
Mangiapane scored, which was nice. Bouchard made a nice drive and centered it, and Mangiapane banged in his own rebound. And Mangiapane just talked about getting out there with new teammates and trying to build chemistry.
Just kind of playing and being out there and just learning the system is important. Whenever you're kind of, joining a new team or whatever, new coach or whatever it is, right? You want to rely on the system if you're going to get confused out there, right? So I think that's kind of the biggest one. And then I think the chemistry will we'll start to continue to grow more and more, I guess, games you play with. Just even with guys that you're not even playing with, just kind of watching them and their tendencies, and you see what they like, and you just kind of watch and see what makes this group kind of special, and just kind of go out there and kind of repeat what they're doing.
And Mangiapane also giving his early impressions of his new Oilers teammates.
I think the first thing that I realized is kind of everybody works hard from top to bottom, right? Everyone kind of, every time they come to the rink, everyone's working hard, right? And you see it on the ice, see it off the ice. Everyone's trying to get better, right? Obviously, a lot of these guys had a short kind of off season, right? So they're here mentally prepared and ready to go. And they're not taking this training camp easy. Everyone's pushing each other to get better. And like I said, we got to keep doing that and climbing to hit the first game all together, ready to go.
All right, so Mangiapane scores. The defenseman out of Finland, Atro Leppenan, continues to be interesting to watch. Played 20 minutes, 30 seconds last night. Had 3 shots on goal, a couple other shot attempts that didn't make it to the net or were wide. He can definitely move and he can definitely pass. I asked him about his camp so far.
I'm pretty happy. Speed is very fast compared to what I'm used to, but I'm being able to move the puck well, and I've been playing pretty well defensively. So one thing probably would be a little bit happier get more in the O-zone, but I'm happy.
How did it work out for you to wind up as an Oiler, in the spring when you signed the contract? And tell us about that decision.
Well, they reached out somewhere in the spring, and we had one other team there as well, and I just kind of made an intuition choice, and it was a pretty easy choice to come here. Pretty nice place and good players, so quite easy.
All right, a little bit there from Leppenan. Again, interesting talent. Do I think he'll start the season in the NHL? I'm not sure about that. I think they want Emberson to grab that number 6 role. Obviously, Stetcher wound up playing a lot in the playoffs, and Emberson kind of became a scratch. Here's the thing about Leppenan, and I mentioned this earlier in the show. His skill set is a bit redundant with other players who do other defensemen who do offensive things better.
Who would you compare him most to that's currently, say, a top 5? Would it be more like a Wallman-esque player?
Well, I don't think he shoots that well.
Okay.
He skates pretty well.
More like Nurse?
It seems like he can pass. I don't know. He's just, I don't know who I would compare him to on the Oilers. He just is in the vein of a puck moving, slick skating, offensive leaning defenseman. Now, there's value to that. I just don't think that that's what this edition of the Oilers is looking for. 9 years ago, maybe that would have been perfect. Yeah. But nonetheless, he's going to be in the organization, and who knows? Maybe he's a call-up, and maybe he develops, and maybe he does help a little bit later on. Here's Chris Knobloch on Leppenan.
Yeah, he moved the puck really well, and also a lot of credit for him and Hudson, because I believe that's 3 games in 4 days for both those guys, and they both played in Winnipeg, and the travel, and they were on the ice this morning, and then played tonight. That's a lot, but I thought they both handled it really well, and Leps was really good, especially early in the game, moving the puck out, and was able to find those guys. I recall a couple shifts with McDavid and Draisaitl being able to make some nice passes, and that's what they want. They want to get the puck in stride and not have to chase it down and forecheck, so they can do their thing. So he was excellent at transporting the puck.
All right, I'm sure we'll see him again in the preseason. That's a good clip there from Knobloch, and a good point about if you're McDavid or Draisaitl, they want the puck in stride. They want it when they're steaming through the neutral zone or breaking out of their end. They don't want a dump in that they got to chase down. They want to have control of the puck as they move across the blue line. But that's a name to watch, and I think for me, somebody I didn't know a lot about going into camp. So it's cool that somebody has emerged.
Yeah, that is nice. To see.
Of note, like he looks like he's got some potential, which is pretty nice. McDavid and Draisaitl killing penalties. I personally am not a fan of it. Sounds like it's going to happen.
I'm very comfortable with it. I know that they will kill somewhat, whether they're primary killers or the secondary. But pretty much we're looking for top 4 for the forwards, and whether they're that or maybe they're 5-6 going out, as I said, secondary minutes. But they'll be part of it. How much we'll find out. But obviously you get 2 of the best offensive players. It keeps the power play on their toes. Like, they're on edge, and they always got to worry about giving up that shorthanded goal. And anytime they're worried about doing that, you just don't usually execute as well. So they're very dangerous. And, they had their looks tonight. They had their chances. But, it's early in the preseason. We want to see many guys do it.
I just think if you're trying to kill a penalty, the priority should be trying to kill the penalty. I get what Knobloch is saying. He's not the first coach to do it. Tippett did it. Woodcroft did it. Oh, if we put 2 of the best offensive players in the league out on the PK, that makes the other team's power play think, ooh, no, now we can't attack. I don't know. There's a lot of really skilled players on other power plays who might think, I know Connor doesn't check as well as some other players. I know he's not going to block a shot. Let's take advantage of that, even though he's real fast. So I'm not a fan of that unless it's a dire situation, as we saw in the playoffs a few times.
So is the thought process here, shake a puck loose and these 2 can take off and create an odd man opportunity?
Yeah. You're a defenseman. You see Connor McDavid coming at you on the power play. All of a sudden, you're not trying to make a play.
Yeah, I'd err more on the side of what you said. Is the penalty kill is just that? It's to kill off a penalty.
Yeah.
We saw this last year, and we saw a less than inspired effort by Connor McDavid on the penalty kill because he was circling the high zone.
Well, he was making an effort to score. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Instead of doing the role of an active penalty killer, which is to get the puck and get it out of the zone.
Let's face it. Connor's an amazing special talent. But he's not the best checker 5-on-5. Why would we think he's going to be a good checker 4-on-5? Draisaitl's maybe a different story because of his face-off acumen and just because of the way he can use his stick and do stuff like that. But I'm not a huge fan of that. And here's the thing. Here's the other thing. You're taking away ice time from players who pride themselves on killing penalties. Okay, and Derek Ryan alluded to this when he was still a player on the team a couple years ago about having a role, and it's nice to have a role and know when you're going to get ice time. Okay, so Jay Milne is signed by the Edmonton Oilers, and you've killed penalties in the past. So you're signing thinking like, okay, well, I know there's not a spot on the top couple lines. Okay?
Yeah.
I know there's not a spot on the power play. So how am I going to get a couple extra minutes of ice time per game? I got to kill penalties. I got to block shots. I got to pride myself in that. And then you take a penalty kill shift, and then there's 25 seconds left in the PK, and you're thinking, great, I killed off the first 25. My buddies killed off the middle minute. I'm going to go finish it off. Connor and Leon, you're up. Now you're like, what? They're getting, they need another 25 seconds on top of everything else they already play. I do not like this. Okay. And look, I like Knobloch. I think most of his decisions have been really, really good for almost 2 years. I do not like this.
And to be honest, I don't really feel the same way you do about a player that this is my role. This is why I'm here. If the team is more successful with Connor and Leon on the penalty kill, then do it. But from last year, I don't think that equates. It doesn't just mean, oh, they're going to score more shorthanded goals. I think it's more of a liability in their own end because people are trying to fly the zone. Right. Connor McDavid was continually trying to squeak one out and fly the zone and create a breakaway. Yeah, and I'm just surprised nobody's called for Peter Aubrey to be fired.
The goalie coach.
To be honest, I mean, that was the problem last year, right?
Oh, Jay.
Oh, no.
You're becoming such a veteran. Tell you what, we got to do a break here. Then we'll do Jay's Play of the Day. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll have our Ian Harrison, our Blue Jays guest. Jay and I are coming to you from the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Taco Tuesday just leveled up at the Canadian Brewhouse all day. $3.49, new tacos and quesadillas. After 4 p.m., sip on $5.99 margaritas, $2 off Corona tankards, and tequila shots starting at $5.99. Here's the coop.
NHL preseason continues. 6 games tonight. Leafs and Canadians meet at 5. The Mammoth and Golden Knights battle at 8 o'clock, while Philly hits the ice in Washington. And on the field, Gene Daniels of the Commanders took limited reps in practice for the second day in a row as he recovers from a knee injury. Staying with the Commanders, Terry McLaurin and Bill Krosky-Merritt were not on the field for practice. And from Arizona, the Seahawks and Cardinals matchup. Both teams 2-1 on the season. Catch the action down at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. For the matchup, kickoff goes at 6:15. In Toronto, Nick Arbuckle has been named the starter against the Lions tomorrow. He missed last game against Montreal with a calf injury he suffered against the Elks earlier this month. And for the Jays, Jose Barrios hits the injured list. Paxton Schultz being recalled from the Bisons in response. Toronto and Boston close out their series just after 5. Louis Varland, the starter for that one. And 3 games wrapped up, 2 games live. Athletics down 9-1 to the Astros in the 6th. While bottom of the 7th, the Dodgers lead the D-backs 8-0. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Jays, play of the day for Play Alberta is next up on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Another interesting tidbit from Coach Chris Knobloch. He wants to see Nuge more at center. Do you like that?
I don't mind it. I think that could still change too. I'll add Henrique was on the wing yesterday. We could see those guys shuffle around, but he mentioned Frederic as well, his ability to play center. And
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Indigenous Celebration returns. Your Edmonton Elks face the Saskatchewan Roughriders Saturday, September 27th. Enjoy Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, the pre-game Makers Market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Indigenous Celebration is back. Presented by No Frills, 5 p.m. September 27th. Elks, Riders, wear the right shade of green. Tickets start at just $20. Score yours now at goelks.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Okay, you can send your limericks to Reid or Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. What do we have?
All right, this comes from Grant Morgenstein. Never had a donair poutine? Where the heck have you been? Or I should say bean. Get it on taters. Don't listen to haters. Your life will be changed, guaranteed.
Pretty good. The off-topic topic for William Huff, regional food options.
He said he wrote that in 37 seconds.
Well, you can write a limerick quite quickly.
You're not giving him any credit.
Well, it's good.
It's pretty
I didn't
good.
say it wasn't good. I'm just saying that's good.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, it is time for Jay's Play of the Day, presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today. PlayAlberta.ca.
Simple. Europe to win the Ryder Cup. Was plus 150. Now it's plus 165. That's going to mean ole, 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 ole.
So we won't know this one till Sunday afternoon.
Maybe. They might have a good idea about it after tomorrow.
Oh, they're just going to go and win all 8 points tomorrow.
It could. Well, technically they can't. Well, they could.
They could win all 8 points.
They could win
tomorrow.
all 8 points.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be enough to clinch the cup.
No. So that's Jay's Play of the Day. Head on over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials. You'll also see the Lock Shop Partner Parlay, which is a Thursday night special at plus 585. Seahawks win. Trey McBride, 7+ receptions. Torrey Horton, 24+ receiving yards. That's plus 585. And always remember to use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
We'll do Name the Animal a little bit later on the show. Another limerick quick. Bronco Nick. Chet Palmer made his YouTube debut. Legend in the making, this is true. His chatter was sublime. Let's build him a shrine. We should all meet him for a brew.
Yeah, that would be good.
He'll roll up his sleeves and type.
He said, Jay and Cooper, welcome too.
Oh, of course. I guess I'm not, though. Only Chet.
Only Chet. He is a superstar.
All right. Blue Jays are in the playoffs, but a rough go lately. We'll dive into it with Ian Harrison from the Associated Press. More on the Oilers and the Elks as we move along as well. Here's the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop. I'm looking forward to this Chiefs-Ravens game on the weekend. Big CFL game here in the Peg. Bombers need a win over the Ticats. Sounds like Zach Collaros is coming back. And maybe my favorite non-football hockey sporting event of the year, Ryder Cup, starting tomorrow. The Ryder Cup might steal the show this weekend from the NFL and everything else going on. So I'm buckled up and ready to go.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Montreal, the Habs and Leafs go toe-to-toe at 5 o'clock with 5 other games on tap in the NHL. Flyers and Capitals meet while Vegas plays host to Utah. And for the second straight day, Washington's Jane Daniels was limited at practice with a knee injury. Terry McLaurin, Bill Krosky, Merritt also absent for the Commanders. Thursday Night Football, Seattle and Arizona kick things off at 6:15. Catch the action at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road to enjoy the game alongside Lieutenant Eric. And from Toronto, Nick Arbuckle gets a start for the Argos tomorrow against the Lions. He missed last week's contest against Montreal with a calf injury suffered late against the Elks in Week 15. And after 2 straight losses for the Birds, the AL East title race is now dead even between the Jays and Yankees. Toronto closes their series against Boston at 5:07. Louis Varland, the starter. In other Jays news, Jose Barrios hits the injured reserve with an elbow issue he's been battling for a while. And right now in baseball, 2 games are live, including the Astros with a 10 spot on the Athletics, up 10-1 in the 7th. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Ryder Cup coming up. Baseball playoffs around the corner. Of course, NHL regular season less than 2 weeks away. That sounds nice to say. CFL stretch drive. NFL going into, what are we in the NFL? Week 4? Week 4? Quatre. How do you say? Is it semaine? Is that a week in French?
A week?
Yeah, isn't it SEMAIN?
Oof. It's been a long time since French 30.
That's a really long time. Yeah. What year did you graduate high school?
1999.
Yeah, I was 91.
Youth.
Yeah. I was going to Nate when you were finishing high school. I could have come and spoken to your class. That would have been amazing.
What a twist. What a turn of events.
We got a special guest ready to check in here, and we appreciate him doing it because he's got to cover a game here right away. Ian Harrison from the Associated Press. Ian, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for making time for us. We wanted to talk some Blue Jays and some baseball today, and I know you're obviously you're getting ready to work, so I'll dive right in. I got to start with the highlight that's getting played on all the reels of Guerrero getting kicked out last night, and the I think it was the hitting coach getting kicked out. Jay and I were reading lips this morning. That was fun.
Didn't have to be good at it to see what he was saying.
Yeah. Wait, what do you make of that? Is that a sign of, are the Blue Jays cracking, or is there some history there with that ump? What can you tell us?
I don't know of any history that I can document there. I'm sure there might be some, but I'm not sure if that was driving that. Certainly, I'm sure there's a little bit of frustration right now, given the way things are gone, especially at the plate with this team. 1 run or less in all 6 of their last 6 losses, and that's 6 losses in the last 7 games. And if you're keeping score at home, so I'm sure there's an element of frustration. But, I don't think that it should be perceived as anything too destructive. For instance, I don't think that it's going to linger tonight with this crew necessarily. We saw the questionable call the night earlier at third base with Scott Barry, the foul ball from George Springer, or the allegedly foul ball. And that led to some boos when the umps just took the field last night. So clearly this crew is, should get out of Toronto before someone spits in their meal or something. But I nevertheless think that it's not going to affect the game tonight. The Blue Jays, if they're going to win it, they're going to win it, playing well, stringing a few hits together and getting some good pitching, which is going to come out exclusively out of the bullpen tonight. But we'll see how that goes.
Oh, this is the old bullpen start. Okay. I'm still wrapping my head around that.
Open up
Yeah.
the Blue Jays tonight. So,
Okay.
And the news, if you guys haven't heard it yet, of Jose Barrios headed to the injury list for the first time in his career. So after making a 2-inning relief appearance last night against the Red Sox, Jose Barrios acknowledging today that a sore elbow has been keeping him ineffective since, I guess, his last victory in the middle of August. So he is now out for 15 days, and the likelihood of him getting used in a wild card round seemed pretty low, but that has now gone to 0.
Well, let's dive into that. Why now? I mean, this has been nagging him for quite a while. Why wait this long? Is this something? In hockey, there's the LTIR, which has sent the league into a frenzy over the last couple of seasons. But was this some sort of a competitive advantage to wait this long?
It might just come down to the need tonight, the need in this bullpen game that they're throwing here to get Paxton Schultz up here to give them maybe a little bit of length and somewhere in the mid game tonight. You could easily say, it could have happened anytime over the last couple of weeks when they took him out of the rotation. Maybe I think, we're dealing obviously with a guy who's clearly has this track record. He had made 32 starts in every full season dating back to 2018. He's going to end this season at 30. So that streak is gone. The IL streak that had lasted his entire 10-year career is gone. So I'm sure there was a lot of pride in Jose Barrios' part not wanting to do this. But nevertheless, tonight, the need is really there. They don't have a true starting pitcher coming out of to open up in this game. Paxton Schultz has shown earlier this season that he can be an effective guy in relief, or give you some length out of the bullpen. So the need has arguably never been greater. The Blue Jays are aching for a win tonight. Otherwise, they're in danger of falling out of first place in the American League and the AL East for the first time in a long time. So need is great tonight.
So. You mentioned that they've scored 1 run or 0 runs in 6 of their last 7 games. They did score 8 in one game, which they won. Where has the offense gone? Or is this just the ebb and flow of offense in baseball? It just looks worse because the playoffs are around the corner.
Well, some of it's gone wherever Bouchard is right now, which is still, working out by himself, taking some swings, but, not yet ready to go. But a lot of guys have been, unproductive. Vlad in particular has, I think you can count on your thumbs the number of extra base hits he has in September. And even some of the role players in this lineup have just sort of hit on hard times right now. They've arguably seen some pretty tough pitching in the last few days too. Last night, Garrett Crochet really had their number, but they also didn't really do themselves any favors. They were exceptionally aggressive against him, allowed him to be extremely economical. So, I think there needs to be a little bit of a return to that grind out mentality that did serve the Blue Jays well earlier in the season and has, done so through the bulk of the season. To be honest, they have been in a really exceptional offensive team in a little bit of a different mold than we're used to seeing around baseball. Typical success around the game now is driven by power, and the Blue Jays are not a power-heavy team. They have been a string the hits together team and winning the platoon advantage, and these things just haven't been going for them. But as we said, they need it to come back, as soon as it can, because if not, this incredible season is about to go poof right in our faces. So, some runs are desperately needed. You look at the record when the Blue Jays score 5 or more. I think there's something like 60 games over 500 in those games.
Right.
Anything under that, I guess it must be 65 or so, 65 of their 90 wins are games in which they've scored 5 or more. So basically, 2/3 of the time of their wins have been driven by just 5 runs. That's the magic number. If they can get to that number, things are looking good. If they can't, big trouble.
Ian Harrison joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Ian of the Associated Press covers the Toronto Blue Jays. Ian, why is it that the general sentiment is that the Blue Jays need to get this bye, that they cannot go through the wild card? It seems like most pundits I've seen and heard from online seem to think they need to get this, otherwise they're going to struggle in the wild card series. Why is that?
Mostly recent history, I guess. You look back to 2020, The Blue Jays have made 3 wild card appearances, haven't won a game yet. They blew that big lead in Game 2 against Seattle when they were hosting the wild card series in 2022, finishing that year with the best wild card record in the AL. Couldn't convert that opportunity. Obviously, the wounds of that series in Minnesota the following year, where Barrios was taken out of the game, those I don't think Blue Jay fans have quite healed from that. So those 3 wild card round failures that have really just shown the volatility of this short series and how it can, you just 2 games and you're done and boom, that's it. If you lose them both, obviously. After 162, that's a cruel fate. And then, of course, the other aspect is the aforementioned Bichette. If you could get him a week to keep working on this knee, that would be so exceptionally valuable to get him back in your lineup by the time a division series rolled around, which, of course, should the Blue Jays win the AL East, they would host. And they've been such a good team broadly at home. So getting that home field advantage is also so meaningful. So those are the things that drive it for me. Also, just giving your starting pitching a little breather there. Shane Bieber, I'm sure, could use it. Kevin Gausman, I'm sure, could use it. Max Scherzer, we are maybe watching the end of him in real time here. Who knows? It has not looked good these last couple of starts, particularly that one in Kansas City, and a little better last night, but not great in the first inning, obviously. Some bleeders and bloops, but an immediate 3-0 hole. So I'm sure he could use some rest, obviously. And if you size this up here, like as we go into tonight's game, the Blue Jays are still tied for the best record in the American League. They hold the tiebreaker over the New York Yankees. If they can win some games, they will continue to control their fate. It's in their hands, and they could finish, clinching a home field, skipping that wild card round. They haven't let it go yet. So let's think positive. Those good outcomes are still on the table, and it will be meaningful for them to get that to basically put a week off in their schedule and come back on Saturday. I think it's Saturday, October 2nd, to open up that division series at home.
Right on. Okay. Ian, appreciate your perspective. Really appreciate you doing this just shortly before a game starts as well. Hopefully we're talking to you deep into the postseason too. That would be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for making time for Edmonton Sports Talk.
You're most welcome. Anytime, guys. Have a great night.
Ian Harrison from the Associated Press checking in, talking about the Blue Jays. So they're 90-68. The Yankees are 90-68. Like he said, the Blue Jays have the tiebreaker. Remember the old 1-game playoffs? I miss those. But they've got. I know they've been doing this for several years, but I still got to remind myself, like, 6 teams make the playoffs in each league. It's not just when I was a lad, there were just 2 divisions. So I mean, look, they're slumping at the wrong time. It may mean nothing going into the playoffs. Just a fun, and baseball, as we know, is a statistician's dream, or sports fans who love stats. Sure. I mean, there's so much to look at, so many different ways you can interpret stuff. So there's something called the Pythagorean expectation. Jay's like, why is he talking about this?
Do tell.
Is this the triangle? It's a formula that Bill James came up with, the great baseball analyst, and a lot of the analytics started in baseball, right? So the Blue Jays record is 90-68. If you look at their Pythagorean win-loss expectation, they're 85 wins. So you can say that they've been able to overperform sort of their runs for and against. And it is interesting, if you just look at the pure run differential in the American League East, the Blue Jays are plus 57, the Yankees are plus 152, the Red Sox are plus 114. The Rays are plus 47. They're only 10 behind the Blue Jays, 10 runs behind the Blue Jays in run differential. They're 13 games behind them in the standings.
Wow.
So you could make an argument that this Blue Jays team has slightly overperformed based on that. The one good thing about this playoff format is it keeps a lot of different teams alive for a lot of different positions, right? I mean, Blue Jays they're in the playoffs. Are they going to be the AL East champion? Are they going to be a wild card team? You got the Guardians and the Tigers, and talk about limping to the finish line. The Tigers have lost, what are they up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in a row. They've lost 11 of their last 12. They're 5-15 in September. Now, they had a 15.5 game lead on the Guardians in July, and were 10.5 up on August 31st. So they could blow the division, but still make the playoffs, right? You got the Guardians and the Tigers in the Central. The Astros are still going after a wild card. Boston's very likely going to get another wild card. So there are some interesting races going on here. But it's good to talk some Blue Jays. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs, and it's always exciting. The baseball playoffs, and you said this yesterday, there's a very unique tension to the baseball playoffs.
Yeah. Well, it happens so fast, too. You know, it does and it doesn't. But those series move along pretty quick, especially the wild card series. I do miss that play-in game, though. The one game.
When if two teams were tied for the division, you'd play a one-game playoff.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when baseball, at least to me, I mean, you get the big crowds or bigger crowds. I mean, Toronto's actually the crowds that they've been having.
Yeah, they draw well when the team gets going, no doubt about it.
It's been spectacular. And those seats aren't cheap. Luke Gazdick goes to a bunch of those games, and he says, you know, a decent seat is still over $100. And you think of how many people they can fit in there.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But they have, we've talked a lot about rule changes this week. Baseball's done some good stuff, like the pitch clock. And because that got to me. Now, it hasn't brought me back a lot just because the pace of this job and stuff like that. And you're covering hockey till mid-June the last 2 years, so baseball's almost half over by the time you're like, what? But the pitch clock has been good for it. I think some of the other changes have been good in baseball. I mean, all the pitching changes was frustrating because teams would sign. I remember several years ago, when the Yankees and Red Sox would wind up playing each other in the playoffs. Remember there was a pitcher named Mike Myers, and not the actor and not the villain from Halloween, or the hero from Halloween, perhaps, depending on how you look at it. The
dark,
yeah. The Yankees signed this guy just to pitch to David Ortiz because he was a lefty and had a pitch that Ortiz had trouble with or something like that. So Ortiz would come up, they'd sub him in, they'd bring another. So it's nice you get to face a certain number of batters, and there's a pitch clock and all that kind of stuff. But it will be fun seeing the Blue Jays in the postseason. But you're right, if they wind up in a best of three, could be over in 27 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway.
This one came in. This is a good one. This comes in from Bones. We were talking about math earlier. That when Reid and I took math, it was called Math 1930.
Oh, there we go.
Well done.
That's pretty good.
Sam the Vet and Grumpy Cat says, yes, Reid. Semaine is weak.
Is weak.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You were saying Semaine.
So it's Katra Semaine in the NFL. Horrible accent.
Yeah.
Week 4. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I may butcher this, but I believe what I took away most from French 30 was est-ce que je peux aller au salle de bain?
That is something about the bathroom.
It's just, I think it's referencing, can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, go to the washroom.
Because the teacher made you ask in French. That was the only way you can go. And
you had to know that.
You had to know that.
So
I could get out of class.
And go do some free reading.
Go raise a ruckus in the hallway.
Pump some iron.
Yeah, do a quick set.
This was in high school.
High school.
Did you take any French in university?
No, I took German.
I had to take a French class, or maybe we had a language elective first year.
We had a language elective, and I took German.
I should have taken something just bizarre for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask me how much of the German I took has stuck.
9.
Almost, yeah. That much I know. Spreche Deutsch. Auf Wiedersehen.
What was the second part?
Auf Wiedersehen?
Yeah, what is that?
I think goodbye or hello.
Yeah, it's goodbye.
That's one of the...
Auf Wiedersehen is
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bis später.
Bis später.
Just say it at the beginning and end of any conversation. Sure. And
Off.
Yeah, the
Wiedersehen.
The person you're talking to will only be confused once. Oh, my goodness. That was good stuff. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, $18.99 prime rib special. Available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., except on show nights and that is available for dine-in and takeout. So the Oilers were off today. They have a preseason game tomorrow. Who is it tomorrow? It's Winnipeg. That sounds right. Like usually I know the schedule several days, if not weeks in advance. I think it's Winnipeg tomorrow at 7, and then Vancouver's here Sunday at 6. Yes, I'm right. And then in Seattle on Wednesday, October 1st, and then final preseason game 1 week from tomorrow in Vancouver. How many of those games will you watch, Jay?
Oh, if they're televised, I'll watch them.
The Vancouver ones are televised.
Yeah, I'll watch. For sure. Sunday night, baby. Well, I don't know.
It's Quatrième Semaine for 4th week in the National Football League. That's from Barrie in the Park.
I got to be honest. Not sure how much of the Sunday night game I'll watch. Packers, Cowboys.
The Sunday, well, I'll be at the Oilers game.
Packers, Cowboys.
That's a big one. 2 historic franchises.
Yeah, a little bit.
They have a blood feud.
They've got a misunderstanding.
Well, the one player hates the other team's owner, right?
Well, Jerry Jones says they weren't going to say anything about Micah Parsons, which I agree. Too soon.
Oh, like a tribute video or something like that? Yeah.
I think Micah Parsons is going to get a standing ovation from the Dallas.
Well,
he
how
wanted
long
to
was he
stay
there?
in Dallas.
He was there a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, since he was drafted.
And then it's a doubleheader on Monday. Right? Monday night's a doubleheader.
Yeah, it's another, let's see, what is it?
It's Bengals Broncos is one of them?
Jets at Dolphins, Bengals Broncos. You're right.
Jets
Bengals
Dolphins.
Broncos is the later.
Well, that's going to be a beautiful game.
Well, and it's silly because they don't even space them out so that you go bang, bang, back to back. They're an hour apart. So you have to choose.
Yeah, the doubleheader 2 weeks ago, there was a 5 o'clock game and an 8 o'clock game.
Like
And I think
why not
this
do
one
that?
they're overlapping. It's not a true doubleheader.
No, it's silly. Like they could have started that Denver game at least at 7:15. So at least you can. I don't know. I don't like when there's games like that overlap on a night.
Yeah,
that is known for having all the viewers.
Some stranger says, "What a handle in the nasty chat, eh?"
Mm-hmm.
Some stranger says, "Why can't they televise all preseason games?" Well, all I can tell you is that each individual team works out its own regional TV deal, and it's not included in the Oilers deal. The Canucks have their preseason games as part of their television agreement. So that's why when the Oilers play the Canucks in the preseason, you can get the Canucks feed on Sportsnet. The Oilers do not have that. I guess the Jets have that, right? Because the Oilers game was on TSN 3 the other night, or maybe some of them are. So that's all I can tell you. It depends on each individual team.
Fair enough.
And I guess maybe the Oilers are like, maybe enough people buy Oilers Plus to watch the preseason games that they make extra revenue off that. I don't know.
How bad do you think opening night's going to be?
What do you mean bad?
History would suggest that the Oilers struggle on opening night.
Well, the Flames will win on opening night. I'm already calling that. I'm already calling that.
Maybe I should find the odds for that game.
Can you already bet on it?
Take a long shot.
If you can do it. On Play Alberta, gaming made easy anytime, anywhere with Play Alberta. You've got a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $50 with promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. Our Past the Pantry Athlete of the Week is coming up. We got to make our fantasy picks. So you got to get the D100 during the break.
Oh yeah,
that'll be huge.
When are we doing that?
We can do it. I don't know. When do you want to do it?
We can do it next.
We can do it next.
We got
can
to
do
debate
it at 5
for the Edmonton Garrison. We're gonna have our afternoon debate.
Oh, is that next?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, we can do it next.
According to the lineup you sent me.
Well, I only look at that sometimes. Here comes the coop.
NHL preseason, 6 games on the agenda. Dallas is on the road in Minnesota. The Mammoth face the Knights while the Leafs and Habs drop the puck at 5 o'clock. In the NFL, Jaden Daniels was limited for the second straight day for the Commanders with a knee injury, while Bill Krosky, Merritt, and Terry McLaurin did not participate in Washington practice. Tonight, the Seahawks and Cardinals flap their wings. Join Lieutenant Eric for the game down at Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road with kickoff at 6:15. Out east, Toronto's Jose Barrios sits the injured list for the first time in his career with an elbow injury. Jays recalling Paxton Schultz from Buffalo in response. And tonight, the Jays and Red Sox close their series. Louis Varland to the mound. First pitch at 5:07. The Jays look to regain sole position for top spot in the AL East. They're tied with the Yankees entering the game tonight. And the Yankees do play the White Sox just after 5. 2 games are live right now. Astros up 11-3 over the Athletics in the 8th, while the Phillies and Marlins are runless in the 1st. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment. Today, we take a brief pause in the Reid Wilkins Show, but we continue after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Bring in Reid Wilkins this morning.
This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. Well, the Oilers' big boys helped set up a lot of goals last night for the visiting team. 4-1 for those tentacled tongue twisters from Washington State. Hey, Leon and Connor, your lucky plus-minus hasn't been invented yet. Golly, can someone get the Blue Jays an alarm clock? They're fast asleep, but the playoffs won't wait for those dozy little heads. Red Sox win 7-1.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Jason Milne, Reid Wilkins coming to you on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. We're going to update and make our picks in the world's simplest fantasy league. At least we believe it's the world's simplest NFL fantasy league. I think it is. There's 2 people in it, and there's 2 players per week.
Easy.
I don't think anybody else came up with something something as simple as we've been able to come up. All part of this next segment, the afternoon debate, presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. We golfed there this summer.
We did.
We got our picture taken by a tank.
Well, we were standing with a tank. The person who took the picture was not a tank.
What did I say? We got our picture taken by... Oh, yeah, that's a good... That's true.
She was a nice young lady.
Yes, we had our photograph taken as we were standing by a tank.
Correct.
Yeah, because there is military equipment around the course.
Yes.
They're the large, some sort of... I should know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. Some sort of large guns, anti-aircraft, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. Artillery?
Yeah, some sort of artillery.
Sure.
There are tanks, and it's a nice course.
Very.
We played. Well, you played pretty good. I played good for
You played
4 holes.
very well.
The afternoon debate presented by the Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Accepting registration now for Thursday night men's curling leagues. Plus, book your bonspiel for the upcoming season and get a free ice rental with the purchase of a buffet dinner. Visit egmgolf.com for more details. All right. So let's update first our loser pool. So we each pick 2 NFL teams every week to lose that week. Once you pick a team, you can't pick them again. So you can't just constantly pick the worst team in the league. Last week, I took Detroit to lose in Baltimore. They won. So that was my first wrong pick this year. My other one was Miami on the Thursday nighter. They lost. So I have 5 points out of a possible 6. Are you 6 for 6?
No. I picked Cleveland last week, who pulled off the upset against
the Packers,
Green Bay, and I had the LA Rams, who scrambled late to lose.
Right. Oh, the blocked field goal.
Yeah.
Well, a couple blocked field goals.
Couple. Jake Cardi should be fired.
This week, I will take the Saints to lose, and I will take Indy to lose against the Rams. So those will be my week 4 picks.
Oh!
I don't remember who the Saints are playing. If somebody good, I think.
The Saints? Playing the Buffalo Bills, baby.
Oh, yeah, they'll lose.
Okay, I'm going to take the New York Giants to lose. And I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to lose to Denver.
On Monday night.
On Monday night. The late game, you know.
And they don't have Joe Burrow anymore.
No.
All right. So here's the fun part. Jay and I have a fantasy league. Do you have the full name again?
Yeah, it's the RWS WJM PSL DTGCL in support of the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
Yes, the name is longer than the rules. So each week, Jay and I draft 1 quarterback and 1 kicker. Once you draft a player, you can't take him again for the rest of the season, but the other guy can. So, for example, in week 1, you had we both taken Josh Allen, so no, we can't take Josh Allen. So for the quarterback, you get points for touchdowns, either thrown or scored by running. And for the kicker, you get the added up yardage of all of his made field goals for that week. So last week, I had Allen, you had Daniel Jones. I had 3-1 for touchdowns, so I get a point. I had Jason Myers kicking field goals. He had 139 yards of field goals. You had Schrader. I don't even remember what team he's on.
Indianapolis.
He had 60. So I got both points. So for the season, it's 4-2 for Jay. Woo! So we roll the D100. So what I get 51 to 100.
51 to 100. You go first.
First and fourth. If it's the other way, you go first and fourth. Snake draft order, everybody. What is it?
72.
72. So I'm taking first.
I think you've won every time.
Well, maybe. Hasn't helped me very much. Okay, I will take... Who do I want? I'll take Justin Herbert, quarterback for the Chargers. So is that who you wanted?
No.
Okay.
Nice, though.
But
nice.
You like him. Now I can never take him again.
Yeah, he's going to perform well against the New York Giants. I'm going to take Lamar Jackson against the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, that's another big... Chiefs, tough schedule to start, eh? Well,
Yeah.
except the Giants, I guess.
I think Lamar Jackson's going to...
So Lamar's off the board, still hovering for me.
You took him week 1.
No, I took Jaden
you took
Daniels.
Jaden
I
Daniels
took your buddy Jaden Daniels.
And for my kicker, I'm going to take Joey Sly from the Tennessee Titans.
SLY?
SLYE.
Oh, okay. I'm not up on my NFL kickers. I will take Josh Carty from the LA Rams.
Oh, Reid, you slay me.
Is he still a guy?
I don't know. I'm surprised he's still with the team after last week's performance where he...
Oh, did he get? He didn't get cut.
No, but he directionally kicked it 10 feet off.
He'll be
8 feet off the ground.
He'll be fine.
Chip shot, Jake. Chip.
I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's not bad looking right now.
All right. So there's our fantasy. So what's the full thing again?
The league?
Yeah. So give the acronym and then I'll say what it is.
RWS WJM PSL DTGCL.
I got to see it.
In support of the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
So it is the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, Pumpkin Spice Latte, Dollar Tree Gift Card League.
Yes.
In support of the St. Vincent School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
And Koob has stepped up and said that he's going to buy the $10 gift card. And if it's a tie, Koob himself will hand that $10 gift card over to the School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
I didn't sign a contract for this. This wasn't in my EST contract and handbook I got from Dusty.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Too bad.
No.
Let's look a little more at the Oilers game last night. 4-1 loss to the Seattle Kraken, a very preseason game. Trent Frederic played with Draisaitl and McDavid. Here's Chris Knobloch on Frederic on that line.
Well, if you look at the stat line, it doesn't look very good. But, they spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. And, he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. He was around the net. He made some plays on the half wall. So, it's early. You see it as they got shut out. They don't get shut out very often. So you're thinking, doesn't work. But, I think the amount of time that they had, we're certainly going to try it a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, he said that they're going to keep trying it into the regular season, possibly. Yeah, look, McDavid made some exciting plays. Draisaitl did. At times, I felt they're just trying stuff. I felt, you mentioned the play where Ekholm had McDavid waiting to shoot a one-timer on a 2-on-1, and Ekholm took it to the net and tried a backhand.
Yeah.
I felt as if some of the better players were thinking, well, in this situation, I'd usually pass, so I'm going to see what happens if I shoot. And in other situations, well, I'd usually shoot here. I wonder if I could pass one more time. There was a 3-on-1 with Lazar and Janmark. I don't even know who the third Oiler was, but Janmark gave it to Lazar, who tried to give it back to Janmark, and it got intercepted. So there wasn't a high level of intensity. There wasn't a high level of execution, and what can I tell you? It was a preseason game with about half the team. It was nice. Mangiapane scored. It wasn't an intense game. Oh, I guess I could say this of note. Tomasek and Frederic were on the power play. So it was on the first power play. It was McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Frederic, and Tomasek. Now, this was, Hyman's going to be out into the regular season. Nugent Hopkins didn't play last night. So take what you will with that. But Tomasek getting a look there is significant and perhaps indicative of his camp and what the coaches think of him, or at least wanting him to give him an opportunity.
It's just so hard to say. I mean, I for those players like Tomasek, players like Ike Howard, this is it.
It means a little more. Yes,
absolutely, it does. It's just sad that, well, not sad. It's just, and this is exactly why you were talking about shortening the preseason to limit, relatively meaningless games.
Right.
Do you think Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl need to brush up?
Well, no, they want to feel good. They want to feel energized and in the groove. But
it's just,
yeah,
pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Yeah, four more games. Now there are storylines, but yeah, I mean, in terms of them losing last night, and I'm like, okay, well, they lost. Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Afternoon debate. One of the things that still needs to be sorted out from these CFL changes, and Chris Morris joined us on Monday, the president of the Elks, and we asked him about the final 3 minutes of games and what is going to happen with the timing. So right now, with the timing changes after the 3-minute warning. So the first whistle after 3 minutes, usually they go to commercial and they come back, and the rules have changed. If a player goes out of bounds to end a play, the clock does not start until the ball is snapped.
Yeah.
If there's an incomplete pass, the clock does not start until the ball is snapped. Usually in before the 3-minute warning, you could still run off 20 seconds after an incomplete pass. That's another thing they're going to, with the 35, are they going to wind it after an incomplete pass? Or is it going to stop on an incomplete like the NFL?
It's going to
find out.
It'll be very interesting to see how
there's
it all
still
gets
some
sorted.
things with the clock that are kind of unanswered.
Unknown.
Yeah.
Big time.
Because the 35-second and the automatic wind kind of mostly pertains to a play that ends in bounds, right? Because that's the play clock, but they haven't said what's going to happen with the game clock.
Game clock.
Will it
Yes.
wind the same way? After the 2-minute warning, if a player is tackled in bounds, the clock stops. The teams then can line up, and when the ref says everybody is ready, he winds both the 20-second clock and the game clock. This is why the last 3 minutes of a CFL game can take so long. Because really, the good quarterbacks and the good teams line up quickly, and the quarterback and the center know when time gets blown in, count to 1 and snap it. Or just, they're basically snapping it with 19 on the play clock.
Yep. That's
why it can take so long. What were the stories told earlier this week by Dave Naylor and by Commissioner Stuart Johnston that we've had we had a final minute of a game that took 11 minutes to play.
Real time.
So I'm sort of caught in between because I don't want the CFL to lose that drama of the final 3 minutes and that there is time maybe to have the ball twice. You know, if you're down 10 or 11 and you get the ball with 3 minutes left, you can score in 40 seconds, kick off normally, get a stop, and score again. Yeah. That is fun, you know, and it means the team with the lead still has to execute. You can't run the clock out. If you're leading, you still have to get first downs and maybe even score. The flip side to that is it can drag out games that should be decided, and I think in some cases demean what the leading team has done to get there. You know, and I think of that Edmonton-Calgary game. The Elks played well. They had a 12-point lead. The Stamps pulled Vernon Adams. PJ Walker came in. And it's still just dragged on and the Stamps were basically saying, we're not gonna win. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna win. We're changing quarterbacks. We're not gonna win. But you still got to run all these plays that only take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock. So, you know, I hope they sort of find a balance where, you know, where there's still the possibility for comebacks, but where the leading team can also finish off the game with a couple first downs instead of like, oh man, like we still got to punt and play off the final 14 seconds with a 20-point lead. That's what I'm saying.
48% of the games in this CFL year have been one possession games in the last 3 minutes. So obviously it's a big part of this league, but there is a right way to do it. That's not going to allow Team X just to kneel it out, but it's also going to create urgency, as Stuart Johnston said earlier in the week.
Yeah,
for the offense. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Tango says this is making CFL Bush League. No one knows the rules. Well, they are going to.
The rules aren't in place yet, Tango. They're going to decide on some things still.
They have postseason meetings with the rules committee that this will be ironed out. There is, I think Stuart Johnston said there is a specific committee just for this that's going to be put together to make sure it's done right. I mean, you can say all you want about the changes, but I think one thing you can't say is that Stuart Johnston doesn't care about the CFL or doesn't honor.
Well, he's
its
the commissioner.
History. I know, but you know what I mean, right? He's not a guy coming in here trying to want to compete with the U.S. He's wanting to keep it as Canadian as it can be by, you know, proposing some changes. And this isn't the first time this league has made significant rule changes. There's been several. So, you know, I mean, the NFL used to have their posts on the goal line.
True.
They did. So change is often hard to have, or, you know, hard to take.
Though the one thing I hope that the CFL keeps with the timing is that the ball has to be in play when the clock is at 0. Right? Because if in the NFL with the 40-second clock,
just the last
if you
play.
kneel down with 39 seconds left, the game's over.
Yeah.
In the CFL, I mean, that's how, for example, BC won that game in Montreal.
That's a good point.
Right? The quick pass, the guy got tackled with 0.3 seconds left, the clock stops, and then you have to run a play with zeros on the clock. So I hope they keep that. I just hope that I hope they can keep the comeback, but also give respect teams that have the lead. That maybe if they are ahead with 40 seconds left, that's enough. They can kneel down and end the game. That's all I'm saying. Maybe they'll invite us to be on the committee. Chances of that, none.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
there's always room for people. Big Uke has sent me an email.
Uh-oh, is it angry?
No, it's just, he's suggesting the Oilers are better in their home openers than we've given them credit for. Or season openers.
Oh, I have it in my folder. I have all the season. But the last two have been awful. 8-1 and 6-0.
Yeah. That recency bias, right?
Yes.
8-1 was a loss to Vancouver. 6-0 was a loss to Winnipeg.
Yeah, the last two have been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like they've gotten humiliated.
Yeah, and home openers for that matter.
Well, the Vancouver one was in Vancouver. Last year was Winnipeg here. Yeah, pretty bad. We are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Pizza Sundays back at the Canadian Brewhouse after 4 p.m. Grab an 8-inch 2-topping pizza for just $9.99. Wash it down with $6.99 doubles and $1 off Bud Light tankards. Tango. I like. Look, you're upset. I don't know what else to tell you. They're gonna still define some of the things about the rule changes. Could have they waited and not announced them yet? Yes, they were probably concerned about some leaks. I don't blame them for doing it before the NHL started and get it on the table that way. But I think sometimes when there are rule changes, and look, most of this stuff, the clock is happening next year. Most of the other things are happening in 2027. So if somebody thinks of something or they says, hey, we got to tweak that, there is time to do it.
Sure.
If
good point.
If Stuart Johnson would have come out and said this all starts Friday, then I'd be like, yeah, that's dumb. Yeah. Like you can't do that. But there is time to do stuff, Tango. So I'm sorry you don't like it, but I'm just asking you to take it. I'm here to help you.
We're here to help you.
I'm here to help you take a deep breath. It's okay. And you know what, Tango? If it bugs you that much, don't think about it. Just put it out of your head. It's 2027. Well, the clock's next year. You can put it out of your head, Tango. You can put it out of your head. That's okay. It's okay, my friend. Shh. You can come back in May and be like, hey, guys, what did they decide about the clock? And we'll tell you.
What to figure out.
It's okay. It's okay, Tango. We love you.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to have a little carrier for you right here between us. We would rock you.
An adult bassinet.
Make you comfortable.
Hush, little Tango, don't say a word.
We love you. We love you, Tango.
We do.
All right. I'm just saying it's okay. You're okay. Oh, past the Pantry athlete of the week. Oh, pickleball. This is okay. He's 14 and he plays pickleball. All right, that's coming up.
In Montreal, the Habs and Leafs go toe-to-toe at 5 o'clock with 5 other games on tap in the NHL. Flyers and Caps meeting while Vegas plays host to Utah. For the second straight day, Washington's Jaden Daniels was limited at practice with a knee injury. Taryn McLaurin, Bill Krosky, Merritt absent for the Commanders. Thursday Night Football, Seattle and Arizona kick off at 6:15. Catch the action at Selly's Sports Barn Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road to enjoy the game alongside Lieutenant Eric. And from Toronto, Nick Arbuckle gets a start for the Argos tomorrow against the Lions. He missed last week's contest against Montreal with a calf injury suffered late against the Elks in Week 15. And after 2 straight losses for the Birds, the AL East title race is now dead even between the Jays and Yankees. Toronto closes their series against Boston at 5:07. Louis Varland, the starter. In other Jays news, Jose Barrios hits the injured list with an elbow issue he's been battling for a while. Bottom of the 9th right now, Athletics are down 11-4 to the Astros, while the Phillies are up 1-0 over the Marlins in the second. The athlete of the week for Pass the Pantry is next on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
I was in a cab with Jim Matheson coming in from the airport, and the cabbie got pulled over by the police. So we're in the back, and we're sitting there going, what's going on? And the cop, he's going, can I see your driver's license? And he was driving around with an expired license. Oh, no. And so the cop sticks his head in the back window and goes, sorry, boys, this might take a while. We'll get you another cab.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. We love this segment. We've been doing it for a few months now here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. It is the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Pasta Pantry. For over 30 years in Sherwood Park, Pasta Pantry serving hot, delicious comfort food made right in our kitchen. And we do it fast so you can slow down. Family atmosphere at Pasta Pantry. When you go there, you're one of the family. Check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal. And this week's Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week is Logan Formaniuk. Logan, how are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, you can tell me if I'm wrong. So I'm glad I got that. I'm glad I got that right. All right, I'm going to just let you start off the story, and Jay's got a bunch of stuff for you as well. What sport do you play, and how did you get into it?
I play pickleball and a little bit of tennis. I started pickleball about 2 years ago.
So sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
I just started as kind of an impromptu thing. I was just driving by a pickleball place one day, and I thought I'd try it, and ever since then I've been hooked.
Wow. And you're 14 years old, so you got into pickleball when you were 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So how the heck have you become so big in this sport in a matter of 2 years? And I mean that honestly. We'll get into some of your accolades, but how do you rise the ranks to now being on Team Canada, for instance? How do you get noticed in pickleball? Is there leagues that you've been playing in? How have you done that, Logan?
Well, I did have a pretty big background in racket sports. I did tennis and badminton for about 2 years. And I am on a pickleball tour. It's called the PPA.
And it's the
biggest pickleball league.
The Professional Pickleball Association.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of 124 kids on the junior U14 PPA circuit, you were ranked third?
Yes, I am.
Now, this must be, is this third in Alberta? Is this third in Canada? Is this all of North America? Or how does this work?
Yeah, it's third in the world.
Third in the world? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I mean, you sent me some fun facts. And I couldn't believe this when I first read it. I told all the guys in the offices earlier in the day. And our boss, Dustin Nielsen, he takes a lot of flights. He covers a lot of CFL games throughout the year. And I mentioned this to him, and he shook his head. He couldn't believe it. You have taken 45 flights this year so far?
Yep.
Okay, where are you flying to, and where are these events held, Logan?
I've flown to a lot of different places all across the U.S. A lot of the events are in places like California and Arizona, but I've also been to even places further from me, like North Carolina or Atlanta.
So you're 14, so would that put you what? Are you in grade 9?
I'm in grade 9 right now, yeah.
Okay, 45 flights. You're traveling across North America, playing pickleball, which you're very good at. At what point does school come into the equation, Logan? How do you do school?
I do online classes, so it's easy to work around.
Okay, you were drafted to play on Team Canada in the World Pickleball Championships. There's 72 countries that are going to be included in the World Pickleball Championships, and you were the only boy chosen from Western Canada. Congratulations. Talk us through how you got selected, where the tournament is, when it is, and you know what you hope to get out of that.
I just registered to be on Team Canada, and I'm not exactly sure what the selection process was, but I was notified one day that I made it, so that was really exciting. And I am playing in Florida in about a month.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week, and I just want to let everybody know that Nathan, who is the owner of Pass the Pantry out in Sherwood Park, was actually the person that nominated you for Athlete of the Week. And he says that let me tell you exactly what he wrote me in a text here. Just hang on. Because apparently you and your family have been going to Pass the Pantry for a while.
Definitely. It's my favorite place to eat.
He says he can eat an impressive amount of pasta. Oh, good. Logan, when you go to Pass the Pantry, what's your order? What's your regular routine order?
I like tripolini.
Tripolini? What's
Definitely. That? It's like spiral noodles. I usually order it with 4 cheese sauce.
Ah, the 4 cheese sauce. I've been telling you about this 4 cheese sauce. I'm a pasticcio guy myself with 4 cheese. So what else are you involved in with pickleball? Because obviously a player of your caliber, do you help out others, younger kids that are trying to learn the game of pickleball and coach in any sort of way?
Yeah, I've actually just started to coach about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and pickleball, it's, a game Reid can play, a game I can play, a game of all ages. So have you ever had somebody that's quite a bit older than you, step onto the court and be like, yeah, okay, what am I playing this little twerp for? and then you go out and beat them? I mean, how's that work?
It happens a lot.
Right on. Okay, well, Logan, we appreciate you coming on. You are the winner of a $25 gift certificate from Pass the Pantry, as well as a custom Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week. Now, I do know that there's a lot of costs associated with this. You were looking to see if anybody out there that likes pickleball, likes the sport, would want to help out. How can people get in touch with you if they would want to become a part of Team Logan?
I have an Instagram account. It is loganforeman.pb.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, Logan, congrats on this. We appreciate you coming on the show and go get that victory for Team Canada in Florida. Congratulations on being Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
All right. And if you want to nominate a Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week, email Mr. Milne, j@edmontonsportstalk.com. All right. The Edmonton Elks are poised to make a major announcement. That's what I'm being told. Likely in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll take a break. We'll do the 5 o'clock update, and we'll come back likely with whatever it is the Elks are announcing here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
2 guys and a goalie.
The thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this, we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Bouchard.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
Fall football and your living room just became the fan zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Unfortunate news coming from the Elks. Team owner Larry Thompson has passed away. An NHL preseason continues. 6 games on the docket. Dallas on the road in Milne. The Mammoth facing the Knights, while the Leafs and Habs drop the puck at 5. And tonight, the Seahawks and Cardinals flap their wings. Join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road with kickoff at 6:15. Zach Charbonnet is active for Seattle. Paris Johnson for Arizona. Out east, Toronto's Jose Barrios hits the injured list for the first time in his career with an elbow injury. Jays recalling Paxton Schultz from Buffalo in response. And tonight, the Jays and Red Sox close their series. Louis Varland to the mound, first pitch at 5:07. And right now, 2 games are live. Tigers holding a 2-0 lead over the Guardians, top of the second. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your Sports Update. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
extremely sad news from the Edmonton Elks. The announcement is that owner Larry Thompson has passed away. Larry, of course, the owner of the team for just over a year, making the purchase in August of 2024, first private owner the Double E had ever had. And just awful news going into what would have been the best attended home game since he bought the team, with the Elks hosting the Riders on Saturday. I'm going to read the press release the Elks have put out. That's all we have right now. So here we go. It is with heavy hearts that the Edmonton Elks Football Club announced the passing of our owner, Larry Thompson. We are devastated to have to deliver this news. A quote from President and CEO Chris Morris. Although I had the privilege of working with Larry for less than a year, his impact on me and our entire organization was profound. Larry's toughness and direct nature were matched only by his genuine care for every person connected to the Double E. He led with clarity, courage, and an unwavering belief in people. We will do everything in our power to carry his example with us as we rebuild this franchise in his honor. That was a quote from Chris Morris. The news release continues. Owning the Double E was the realization of a lifelong goal for Thompson, who grew up a passionate supporter of the club since attending his first game in 1972. Larry's legacy within the organization is immeasurable. Alongside his family, they are responsible for saving and stabilizing the franchise he held dear for over 50 years. The ownership of the Edmonton Elks franchise will remain with Deb Thompson, who is steadfast in her dedication to carry on Larry's vision to revive the Double E as a pillar in the Edmonton sports scene and a leader in the community. Quote here from Deb Thompson. Our family is devastated with the loss of our anchor. Larry was a legend, and our family will continue his legacy far beyond our lifetimes. Owning the Double E was a lifelong dream. My only regret, he isn't here to enjoy it. I will continue to support the club and community as it has become my dream, as well as of our family. Then the release continues. Larry suffered complications following surgery. He fought a hard battle for many weeks, but the complications were too severe. The family wishes for privacy in their time of mourning. The unveiling of Larry Thompson as the club's first private owner in August of 2024 was the culmination a months-long ownership review intended to bring long-term stability to the organization. In his first year at the helm, Thompson invested heavily in the operations of the club and greatly expanded the club's community resources, with strong charitable outreach within Northern Alberta being a pillar of the Thompson family's vision when acquiring the Elks. Upon purchasing the Elks, Thompson stated, "My family and I can't wait to bring our passion for the team to the table as owners and build on the club's proud history of excellence. My promise to our fans is that I'll do everything in my power to ensure the club has the resources to be the best in the CFL and provide a product our fans can be proud of." And then the news release concludes, Thompson acquired the means to purchase the Elks when he sold the Thompson Construction Group in 2023. Over 4 decades of his leadership, Thompson grew the Spruce Grove-based company to include 1,500 employees and 2,000 pieces of equipment. Larry Thompson's legacy within the club is undeniable. As a savior of his childhood team, he will be sorely missed. That is from the Edmonton Elks this afternoon, as owner Larry Thompson has passed away, and the club clarifying in that news release complications following surgery, and then it says he fought a hard battle for many weeks, but the complications were too severe. So very sad news, very significant news, and obviously, Jay, this was a gentleman, a family, but led by Larry, who bought the team in August of 2024, a major news story, a major sports story, not just in Edmonton, but across Canadian football, as the Double E had never had a private owner. They'd always had community ownership, a board of directors running the team. So Larry came in as a private owner and was seen as the catalyst for some of the other hirings. Chris Morris was hired as president. He hired Ed Hervey as general manager. Mark Killam was hired as the head coach. Chris Morris was on this show on Monday, mostly talking about the rule changes, but then I asked him about the state of the team, and he said, look, we're disappointed. We're losing some games. but we're making progress. We're close, and nothing's being overhauled next year. All the leadership people are going to remain in those positions, and I think that's what Larry Thompson wanted to build. That was the hallmark of the great years when it was the Eskimos, that you had Hugh Campbell in charge, and usually he was the coach, but then usually if you had a coach, that coach stayed on for a while, and if you had good players, they stayed for a while and they became part of the community. And Chris has talked about that, wanting players to live here year round, but that also was Chris understanding that himself, but also Larry's vision for the team and players and coaches and people in those key positions. So really sad news, really devastating. And as was mentioned in that news release, this, if you'd gone to a 12-year-old Larry Thompson, they were called the Eskimos when he was cheering for them, and you would have said to him, one day you're going to own this team, he would have been over the moon. Awesome he got to do that. Sad he only gets to do it for about 13 months. Very tragic today.
Yeah, it is. And the continuity aspect that he wanted to integrate back into this team was something he grew up loving and wanting. It's just, I don't know, Reid, this isn't a conglomerate. This isn't a takeover by a media company this was a family that personally bought this team.
Yeah.
That had cherished the Eskimos for a lifetime. And this was something that he probably dreamt his whole life to do. And the changes that he instilled right off the bat, I think will carry this team and propel them forward with the initiatives that he wanted and the values and the beliefs that he instilled when he hired Chris Morris. It's just incredibly sad. You think back to when we were there at that news conference on the field. The whole Thompson family was there, and you could just see the excitement. It's a sad day, and it's sad because he didn't get to really see his team flourish the way that he probably would have hoped.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see that Deb Thompson will remain as the owner of the team along with her family, and honor Larry through that. Very shocking, though.
Yeah, Larry Thompson, owner of the Edmonton Elks, has passed away. The team saying in a news release that there were complications following surgery. He fought a hard battle for many weeks, but the complications were too severe. So, yes, Larry's wife, Deb Thompson, will be the owner of the franchise. And Chris Morris, obviously president and CEO, will continue to have a strong leadership role here moving forward. And you're right. I mean, this is so tragic, Jay. And no, I don't go into the Bryan Hall Media Center when I go to the games, but I know that there were some modifications there where Larry now had an owner's suite, and walking by to go to my seats, you'd see younger kids, I assume grandkids or family members, waving out the window. And that would have been part of, I guess, the Thompson family gathering for every game. And I think for a lot of people, whatever you attend, but certainly when it comes to the Elks, and it is for me, that's family time for a lot of people, or catching up with people close in your life. And, Larry, you mentioned how many of his family were at the news conference when he announced that the team was being purchased, or when it was announced that he was purchasing the team. So, I think about just that hole that is going to be in the Thompson family without Larry there. But that was the announcement for the Elks. I mean, they kind of let us know something might be coming, and very, very sad to learn that he has passed away. We got to talk to him the day of the news conference. A man of not a lot of words, really. I think with the way he was with us, but that he cared about the team.
Yeah. Deeply.
I know there's been a lot of, they haven't been very good since they've been the Elks, which is true. They haven't been an elite franchise for a while. And I think Larry knew that. I mean, we talk a lot about 3 home playoff games in the last 20 years. So Larry knew that there were things that needed to be recovered here, and he was working towards that. Dustin Nielsen, of course, is the host of the Nielsen Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, and a play-by-play voice for the Canadian Football League on TSN. Dustin, thanks a lot for hopping on. Just a real shocker this afternoon learning that Larry Thompson has passed away.
Yeah. I was having a nap and I woke up and I saw your text and I was like, okay, I wonder what's coming. And then to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this. That's some pretty sad news. Obviously a tough blow for the organization and tough for the organization to have a guy that obviously was kind of living the dream. Like he grew up, bought the team that he grew up cheering for and was going to try to reestablish it to the greatness that he used to watch as a fan. So that's tough news. I mean, he wasn't very old either, right? He's the same age basically as my dad. So that's tough news to see today for the organization for sure.
Well, anything that when we had a massive day of coverage when he bought the team, and that was in August, even before Jay and I before the programming expanded to the afternoon. But we were there representing Edmonton Sports Talk. Anything stand out for you about that day when he was announced as the owner of the team?
Well, I think the one thing that stood out, first of all, you're right, not a man of many words, but he did manage to. I think we weren't supposed to get him right away, but we wrangled him in. I remember he was walking by our broadcast location up top, and we wrangled him in, and he came in and chatted with us for a little bit with his wife. I guess the one thing that really stands out that I won't forget was I thought it was a pretty unique moment when he was standing there talking about buying the team and pointed to his seat. He's like, "That's my season seat right over there," and he basically was a row one guy for a long, long time. So. I think he was enjoying the time that he had. I chatted with him once after that. He was on the road with the team down in Calgary. I had a chance to introduce him to Glenn Suter, and we chatted with him for a little bit there, and he was in good spirits. That was shortly after that he got the team last year, maybe even Labor Day. But he was obviously very happy for what he was able to accomplish, started to make some changes around the building as well. But it was kind of neat. I've been here for 17, 18 years now, and to see a guy who says he had season tickets forever in row one buy the team and look to restore its glory was kind of a pretty cool moment that day.
Yeah, well, and you make a good point about how he pointed to his seat, and I think that is. I don't want to say it's just a CFL thing, but I think it's an interesting thing about the CFL. I mean, I suppose we could say in Edmonton, Daryl Cates grew up a fan and idolized the guys in the 80s. So, but I think usually if you own an NFL team or an NBA team or a Major League Baseball team, maybe you were a fan, but there's also knowing that okay, I care, but I need to make several millions or billions of dollars every year. I think with the CFL, isn't it Bob Young in Hamilton doesn't even call himself the owner? He calls himself the caretaker. I mean, Larry's story was a very CFL story. This isn't going to make or break my financial life. This is a heart and soul project.
Yeah, this was. He was pretty much doing the organization a solid. That's what he was doing. I mean, the organization was not in a good spot. He's obviously very financially set, and his family will be moving forward after selling an amazing company that he managed to build up over a long time. So the organization needed him to take over and needed him to step in. And it's not like he was doing it knowing that in 10 years, the organization was going to be worth a whole lot more. I mean, he basically took on some debt to take over the organization. I was very interested to see where the franchise would be heading under his reign. And we'll see, obviously it'll remain in the family with his wife, Deb. And I did read the press release that they sent out that she wants to, continue on his vision of where he wanted this team to head. So that's nice to see. But I mean, just so shortly after taking over the organization, it just, not that it, I mean, more sad because it's sad as it could be, but you go to live your dream, you get to do it for 1 year. That sucks. That hurts. So, thoughts obviously with his family and everybody in that organization. I saw Chris had some nice things to say about him, and Chris had only got a chance to work with him for 1 year as well. So the legacy will certainly, well short, the legacy with his family and him basically coming to the aid of his childhood favorite team when they needed him most will certainly live on.
it's a sad day, but I don't think we can discuss Larry Thompson and his public life as the Elks owner, which again was relatively short. And I don't think he wanted to be in the public very much. I mean, he did the news conference. I think he did game balls in Hamilton, the first or second game he owned the team, which they won. I think he did the game ball for that or addressed the team after the game. I remember that
correctly too. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But then he gave us the fire truck moment with this. I mean, look, that's going to be part of it when the TV stations put together the obituary stories. That'll probably be in the footage. Dustin's going to grab something, and this is obviously a sad day, but if we're going to talk about how we knew him publicly, that's part of his story, is that he drove the smaller version of the fire truck and was didn't realize the path should go behind Dave Dickinson and the players, not right through them. That's going to be a lasting image for Larry Thompson.
There it is.
Dustin's got it if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought this. So I bought this. I mean, this was an all-time CFL moment. Like when you talk about CFL moments, the brand new owner of the Double E, driving the fire truck right through the Stampeders sideline. I think the most lovable thing about it is that I'm not sure he did it on purpose, but maybe he did. Like he didn't care. It's his place. And I remember I was down picking something up at Commonwealth, and I was in their store. Or maybe I had a meeting there and I was in the store and I saw this shirt and it's an absolute classic. They see me rolling and he's just looking ahead, doesn't even care what's going on, where he's headed. So it's funny you brought that up because I had this shirt just sitting right next to me in the basement here. So that's a moment that'll certainly live on. And to put together a moment like that in a brief time as owner of the team, I think I'm trying to think about the reaction when he took over for the team. I think most of the fan base was very fortunate that he did it. But in the end, I think that might end up being his lasting legacy was this moment here. I mean, everybody instantly was like, yes, this guy, they have a race at the stadium now, Larry's fire trucks. And it's actually a pretty good bit.
It's not a terrible legacy. I mean, if that's one of your shining moments of what the fans remember of you,
in your rivalry game,
driving through the Stampeders bench is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
What next? That's a question. And obviously, Deb Thompson has said that she's going to stay on and honor Larry's legacy. Do you think there's more of a role put with Chris and Deb? I just don't know how that works, how the family dynamic works. But that'll be something, I guess, to watch moving forward. There might be some assistance from the CFL. I don't know, Dustin.
I'm not too sure what this process would be like. I know that she's going to take over. And then I know I had some people that he worked very close with, had a chance to meet a few of them in the process of when he purchased the team. So I'm assuming that they will probably be involved as well. I'm also not 100% sure. I don't think he was very hands-on. I don't think he was like there all the time dictating things. I don't think he was that type of guy. So I'm not too sure how that would change the day-to-day operation of the organization either. But I guess that's something we'll just sort of have to sit here and see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, and you're right, Dustin. I mean, you can never say you're behind the scenes unless you actually are. But yeah. I mean, I think he hired Chris Morris because he trusts Chris Morris and because of Chris's pride and work ethic. And so I would think, as Deb will be the owner, I think Chris will remain a major leader, obviously, within the organization. And I wonder too, does the CFL say, hey, like Stuart Johnson say, like, what do you need? Like, Deb, what do you need to get through this? Like, do we need some sort
I'm sure there'll be a
consultant or
yeah.
Somebody around that can help. I don't know if that type of thing, that it wouldn't surprise me if something like that could happen.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened. Look, man, it is not a coincidence that two of the most passionate people about the Double E were put in place by this guy who loved the organization, right? Like find me two guys who love the Eskimos / Elks more than Chris Morris and Ed Hervey. Like he put guys in place that shared his passion for restoring the legacy of the organization. And I would have to think that, in their current roles, they might be asked to, chip in a little bit more in some sort of transition process or however that's going to work. But I would have to think his passion for the organization is carried on very much so between those two guys. So, as far as a local passionate group that will continue the legacy that he put in place over the last 14 months, it's in good hands. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay, Dustin, thanks for hopping on to discuss this. I know you'll have more perspective and reaction on the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric tomorrow morning. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good show.
Dustin Nielsen checking in from right here at Edmonton Sports Talk and also the CFL on TSN. So, if you're just joining us, breaking news this afternoon, pretty sad news. Edmonton Elks owner Larry Thompson has passed away, about 13 months after purchasing the team, the league saying, or the team saying in a release, complications from a surgery. And it sounds like this surgery was a few weeks ago and Larry was battling, but unfortunately things were too serious. This is tough, Jay. It's tough to see this. I mean, obviously it's sad when anybody passes away, but associated with the Elks, an important part of the fabric of the Edmonton sports community. And he steps up to be the first private owner of the team. I mean, we know what it's been like on the field, off the field, not great. I mean, the attendance, even when they had Mike Riley, the attendance was chipping away down every year. And then obviously some really poor seasons and the long home losing streak that was keeping fans away as well. So he took on, and Deb and the Thompson family will still take this on because it's in process, or in progress, I guess. But he wasn't jumping in here in 1980 with the best team and likely more championships to come. I mean, he was willing to take on the hardship of a rebuild, which is probably some emotional hardship, and it's probably some. It's private now, so they don't have to open the books, but probably some financial hardship here along the way. I mean, Larry stepped up and said, "Okay, I'm willing to take this on. Let's do it. I want to build."
Yeah, I think it does hit a little bit extra because you saw somebody that had dreamt of doing this their entire life. And the moment happened and it was here. And yeah, you referenced the suite that he built for him and his family. The only times I've ever seen Larry was with his family and all of his family, grandkids included. And that would be a place that he built out for that family. So it is sad. It's sad that, he's not going to get to see it through. Very sad for Larry Thompson, but a person that will be honored and remembered very positively. I mean, did he save this team? I don't know. I don't know what that looked like, but he sure came in and did something that, Dustin alluded to as well, that this isn't a profitable thing that he's getting involved with, at least not then. And he just did it because he loves his team and wants to see his team succeed. So very honorable. It's just a sad thing. Very sad.
Larry Thompson, owner of the Edmonton Elks, has passed away. Just some people asking about his age. He was 65, born in 1960. So Deb Thompson, his wife, will take over ownership of the team. Of course, Chris Morris remains as the president and CEO. The Elks play the Riders at 5:00 on Saturday. And I touched on this, Jay, and I don't want to make this necessarily a football discussion, but this will be the best attended game under Thompson ownership.
Yeah,
and it's that's another. There's a lot of elements of sadness here, I guess. Like that's another one is that Larry won't see that. I'm sure he would have been thinking, all right, it was down to the lower bowl. We pretty much filled the lower bowl. It can be done. What's next?
Right.
And can we get back to 35, 40? Can we have $45.50 for the Labor Day rematch. Like, when early days when I had seasons tickets, late 90s, early 2000s, that's when it could get to, because that's what he believed in, right? And it's too bad he didn't get to see those field goals go wide in the last 2 games he was owner for. But it's tough news, right? And like we're saying, he believed in. I mean, we do these jobs because we like sports and we believe in. We love Edmonton and we love talking about the Edmonton sports scene. And Larry jumped right in to try to rebuild the team that he had loved for a long time. So Larry Thompson has passed away, owner of the Edmonton Elks. We will continue discussing this. Of course, you can reach out at 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino afternoon inbox. To text us, you can email jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, and you can post in the chat on YouTube as well. We have a sports update with Zach Kubish.
Unfortunate news coming from the Elks today. Owner Larry Thompson has passed away at the age of 65 after suffering complications following a surgery. Thompson became the first private owner of the club last year in August, having ownership of the team remain with Larry's wife, Deb Thompson. On the field, Washington's Gene Daniels took limited reps at practice for the second day in a row as he recovers from a knee injury. Also for the Commanders, Terry McLaurin, Bill Krosky, Merritt were not on the field. From Arizona, the Seahawks and Cardinals matchup, both teams 2-1 on the season. Catch the action down at Selly's Sports Barn Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road with Lieutenant Eric. That one gets going at 6:15. And Seattle's Zach Charbonnet is back in action. 4 games are underway in baseball. Jays and Red Sox in their series closer. Bottom of the second. No outs for Toronto. Anthony Santander at bat. Elsewhere, the Guardians trail the Tigers 3-1 in the 4th. In the NHL, preseason continues. 4 games live. All midway through the first period. Caps up 1-0 over the Flyers. Elsewhere, Scott Lawton has opened the scoring for Toronto against Montreal as the Sabres and Red Wings are deadlocked at 1 apiece. The conversation continues following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Another interesting tidbit from Coach Chris Knobloch. He wants to see Nuge more at center. Do you like that?
I don't mind it. I think that could still change too. I'll add Henrique was on the wing yesterday. We could see those guys shuffle around, but he mentioned Frederic as well, his ability to play center. And
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. 2 bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Tough day here. About half an hour ago, the Edmonton Elks announced that owner Larry Thompson has passed away. Larry's 65 years of age, owning the Elks since last August. And And I'm just trying to think back to that day when he was announced as the owner of the team. It was a news conference on the field at Commonwealth. And obviously the outgoing board of directors were there. A lot of Elks staff, well, probably the entire Elks staff, anybody who was in the office that day.
A lot of prominent Elk alumni as well.
Alumni were there. And then the one thing I remember too was, so the players were then practicing over at Clark, and they all came through for the announcement. They didn't stay for the whole thing, but they were there for the meat of the announcement and then got back to practice. Significant day with him taking over as the owner of the team. I remember asking a couple questions at that news conference. And then obviously Larry, we were doing a live show there, and Dustin told the story of how he perhaps broke some protocol.
Well, they were on,
come on with us.
Yeah. And Tom, I think it was Tom. Tom and I were standing by the door and saw him. I think Tom just went and said, I think he may have gotten a little bit of trouble for that. But
maybe.
What are you going to do?
There is a protocol, but usually when something like that happens, there's a news conference, and then if there are one-on-ones, it's television rights holder and then radio rights holder. And then maybe if you're doing a broadcast, you might get them.
Yeah.
But there's nothing stopping one of us to just walk up to somebody and say, hey, what are you doing? But he came on. And I think Deb was with him. But again, a very understated guy, a man of few words. I think I think he just would have preferred to sign the papers and get to work on whatever he wanted to do with the team. But sad news here. And as we've been talking about it taking over the franchise, well, quite frankly, at one of its lowest points, if not low. I mean, they haven't been this bad on the field since the 1960s, early 1960s. And, that obviously goes with financial challenges and attendance challenges and things like that. And Larry knew what those challenges were and said, I want to take leadership in fixing them. And Chris Morris, the president and CEO, heavily involved in that as well. So that's unfortunately the big announcement that the Elks made today. I'll read the quote here from Chris Morris. Although I had the privilege of working with Larry for less than a year, his impact on me and our entire organization was profound. Larry's toughness and direct nature were matched only by his genuine care for every person connected to the Double E. He led with clarity, courage, and an unwavering belief in people. We will do everything in our power to carry his example with us as we rebuild the franchise in his honor. So that's from Chris Morris. And I would say probably, not probably, I think I could speculate here with a lot of certainty. Other than people who maybe were related to Larry, nobody knew what he wanted to do with the team and how more than Chris Morris. Because there was probably a lot of exchange of ideas between those two guys where Chris was either saying, okay, Larry, I'll execute that, or Larry was saying, Chris, that's a good idea. Here's your green light to go ahead and do it. And we know that Chris has spoken publicly about some of that stuff.
Well, and I think, you look to how Larry Thompson's legacy is going to, be carried forward. And I get the sense that Chris will carry out as much as that as possible. Mm-hmm. I believe they were very tight, close, and that's Chris was hand selected by Larry Thompson.
Yes.
To run this organization the way that he wanted it run, the way he thought it should be run to get it back to excellence.
Yeah.
So that, having Chris Morris in place, that was all Larry Thompson, and that will help move things forward with this organization. I just want to get to a couple texts. I mean, everybody's reacting to this differently. Uncle Jesse says this is heartbreaking. Larry was one of us. And that resonates for sure, because like you guys said, I mean, during that press conference, Larry pointed, that's my seat.
Yeah.
And that's, he was a fan first, loved the team, worked his butt off, and was put in a favorable position to be able to take over the team that he grew up loving. I mean, that's a storybook. So yeah, well said, Uncle Jesse. Nacho Man says he's driving a fire truck through the Heavens bench right now.
Yeah,
probably. Where was this? Yeah, there's just sadness, general sadness.
Yeah, his wife Deb Thompson will be the owner of the team. Somebody in the nasty chat just asking that. So, and the family has asked for privacy in the release put out through the Edmonton Elks.
Well, and they were very private to begin with.
Yeah,
and Larry was not a in-your-face owner.
No,
very low key, and as far as Deb now Thompson, his widowed wife will carry this forward, and I'm sure lean on Chris a lot.
Yeah.
Because Chris knew the vision, Deb knows the vision, the whole family, and you don't get that way in life with the Thompson Brothers construction without a really good and strong team around you. So I would imagine that's what he had in place here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I think the things that Larry did do publicly, he probably realized that when you're the owner of the team, you have to do some things, but maybe he would have preferred not to. I mean, even driving the fire truck, he probably had to be talked into it.
Right.
I would guess, and a couple of the, like I said, he was with the team in Hamilton and spoke to them after the game. But I mean, he probably would have been the type of guy, do we need to video this?
Yeah.
And I think in the CFL, they don't give the Grey Cup to the owner, but if it would have been wonderful if the Elks would have won the Grey Cup with him with us, even in that situation, he probably would have been like, I'll get, you can bring it to my office one day, but this is the players, they went out there and did it. I think that's the type of guy he struck me as.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't doing this for glory. This wasn't a vanity thing. Hey, look at me. I own a pro sports team. Some guys do that, let me run it. I know better than everybody else. That wasn't Larry.
No, just how do we get better?
Yeah,
how do we improve?
How do we get better? Who do I need in this spot? Who are the best people? And I think that's what struck me about him too. Who can help me execute my vision? But he struck me as the type of guy, owning a football team, he would also say, who has a vision? I don't think he wanted, and I think that's why Chris would appeal to him.
Well, he wanted somebody that
Chris would say, look, I think we have to do this.
He didn't have to empower to do things. Right. They had a vision of their own that aligned with his and his family's to take this team back to the glory days that he saw growing up.
Yeah, but this is tough. I mean, this is tough news. A couple days before a game, obviously, which of course will still be played. I already see people posting in the chat about trying to do a chant or something for Larry Thompson. Clearly, there'll be some sort of recognition or ceremony before the game, and I would think this will resonate with the players. I think this will affect the locker room too, because I think a lot of them probably met him. I mean, they certainly would have met him. All the guys that were here last year on the ownership day, on the day the ownership changed. And he was, as I said, he was on that road trip, and they all know about the fire truck thing, right? I mean, this is going to be, even though I don't think he was inserting himself into the team. I think they all knew who the owner was, right? And
you would
probably had met him, so and they would know the family atmosphere that he was trying to create there. So Larry Thompson has passed away, owner of the Edmonton Elks. Again, this was announced in a press release by the team, came out at about 5:00 this afternoon. Deb Thompson, his wife, will be the owner of the team. In the news release, she is quoted as saying, "Our family is devastated with the loss of our anchor. Larry was a legend, and our family will continue his legacy far beyond our lifetimes. Owning the Double E was a lifelong dream. My only regret is he isn't here to enjoy it. I will continue to support the club and community as it has become my dream as well as our family." And the Elks saying that Larry Thompson suffered complications following surgery. He fought a hard battle for many weeks, but the complications were too severe. The family wishes for privacy in their time of mourning. So Larry Thompson passing away at the age of 65, about 13 months after becoming the owner of the Edmonton Elks. It's 5:42. We're back for a final segment. Here's Zachary Kubish.
Unfortunate news coming from the Elks today. Owner Larry Thompson has passed away at the age of 65 after suffering complications following a surgery. Thompson became the first private owner of the club last year in August, having ownership of the team remain with Larry's wife, Deb Thompson. From Arizona, the Seahawks welcome back Zach Charbonnet as they take on the Cardinals. Both teams 2-1 on the season. Catch the action down at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road with Lieutenant Eric. Kickoff for that one goes at 6:15. In the bottom of the third inning, Toronto and Boston are tied at zeros in their series closer. Tyler Heineman at bat for Toronto, 0 outs so far in the inning. And the Yankees and Jays are fighting for top spot in the AL East. New York is tied at 1 apiece against the White Sox in the second. And 6 games are on tap in the NHL preseason. 4 games live. The Islanders and Rangers combining for 5 goals in the first period. About a minute left in the opening frame. Rangers up 3-1. Bobby McCann potted a power play goal for the Leafs. They're up 3-1 over the Canadiens. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Simone Lawrence. Simone, how you doing?
No, y'all intro music is perfect. No wonder y'all got one of the best shows in the world. You had me feeling like I had a nice tuxedo on, you know? I'm excited. Elks versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Woo! And this is the kind of game the Tiger Cats need.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us. Larry Thompson has passed away, the owner of the Edmonton Elks since last August. 65 years of age, complications from surgery. His wife, Deb, will now be the owner of the team. Chris Morris obviously remains on as the president and CEO and remains a key leadership figure with the team. So, yeah, this just announced at 5 o'clock. Pretty stunning, Jay. I mean, we got word about 10 to 5 that there was a significant announcement coming from the Edmonton Elks, and we weren't sure what it was. Matthew Wannick made the good observation. Maybe they're going to open the upper deck. I mean, they're selling a lot of tickets for this game against Saskatchewan. I mean, so I was kind of just like, oh my God. It was shocking to see that. Someone who just had purchased the team last year. So, I'm sure a lot of people are this is very tragic. I know a lot of people are probably wondering, where does the team go from here? Well, I mean, I think they keep going in the direction they've been going. Certainly Larry was the owner of the team and would have had a vision for the team, but I think Chris Morris, as the president and CEO, was fully aware and invested in that vision and probably had helped craft it himself, right? Deb Thompson, his wife, would know what Larry's vision was, would have been involved in that as well. So this is really tough. It's going to be tough for a lot of people who knew Larry and people within the franchise. But I mean, not that anybody doubts Chris Morris's work ethic, but I mean, if he's going to be extremely driven to honor Larry and continue trying to turn this franchise around on and off the field.
Well, and you hate to just go there, but you almost have to say, this team now can look at that and use that in whatever form you need to push you forward and keep this revival of the team moving in a positive direction.
Right.
Because Larry set the example. Larry put his money where his mouth is. That's plain and simple. Not many people would do that. And let's face it, it's not like this is making millions of dollars every year. Larry knew exactly what he was doing. He should be honored for forever, eternity, with this team, in the CFL, for what he's done and allowed this team to stay viable. Truthfully, and that was a tough time for the CFL in the early 2000s. So this was something that a lot of other teams in the CFL had moved to in terms of private ownership.
Yep.
As it was community owned, and that was a step in the right direction. And that's all. We can thank Larry Thompson for that. And when this team finally gets that done, that'll be a great day for that family.
I think it's relevant to read this tweet from Nick Anderson on September 6th after the Elks beat Calgary. And he was still injured for that game, but then he came on our show a couple days after this, and he did return to the lineup, fortunately injured again. Now, we don't know. The press release indicates that Larry had not been great for a few weeks after having surgery. I don't know if he got to see this tweet or not, but if he did, as the owner of the team, given what he was trying to do, I think this would have brought him a lot of joy. Here's what Nick Anderson wrote on September 6th. I keep telling everyone, things are slowly blossoming the right way for this organization. I know how things have been in years past, but this is a new era headed in the right direction. In due time, greatness will be restored in this amazing city. We hear the fans. We see the anticipation that the people have for this city of champions. We are going in the right direction. If you don't believe it and don't want to hop on this train, then stay at the station. But the EE is en route towards something special. And I mean, I think, that's a player, a very good and a very intelligent player, summing up what is trying to be achieved here. And I got to reference again Chris Morris on our show on Monday. The people in key leadership positions aren't going anywhere. This is not going to be turnover central again. And who's the GM and who's the coach? And is the coach going to leave for the NFL or another franchise? They're trying to build some stability. And that's what Larry wanted. And, Nick Anderson believes in it. I know on the field, everybody, the last two weeks were tough. I'm not going to deny that. I know the record still isn't great this year. I know when we talk about football, I've probably been one of the harshest critics of the on-field stuff and maybe the most frustrated at EST about that they are winning. But I do see the vision, and I do see signs of change within the organization. And I think that Nick Anderson tweet demonstrates that. And I know you could say, well, come on, Reid, he plays for the team. What's he going to say? Well, he's probably going to say nothing if he doesn't believe that.
Well, and this is a player that's been here 2 years.
Right.
And sees that and feels that. This is being instilled in them, and that comes from the top. That comes from ownership, leadership. So that tweet speaks volumes. That tweet would have not happened in 2 years ago.
Right.
From an all-star player of yours. Right. Rookie of the year last year. This is a belief that's being ingrained in these players' heads, and it comes from the top. It comes from somebody that loves this team, loves this city, loves the CFL. And not only that, Rob from the Grove sent this in. Larry Thompson had a very huge footprint in Spruce Grove and obviously the Edmonton area. The new arena in Spruce has an arena named the Thompson Family Arena. He will be missed. So not only here, but obviously a very big part of the community west of the city.
Well, that's good. That's good perspective, right? Because for me, I've been immersed in the sports world most of my life. I didn't know a lot about Larry Thompson until you start hearing his name as the potential owner of the team. I mean, that's great perspective from Rob about other contributions he's had. And even that the arena is called the Thompson Family Arena.
Yeah.
It's not called the Thompson Construction Arena or the Larry Thompson Arena. It's called the Thompson Family Arena.
Tells you a lot.
So I think that tells you what Larry was all about. But yeah, really, really tough news today. I think 65. I think most of us would feel that's relatively young to go. I mean, not that it's ever pleasant to lose somebody, but that's relatively young. And again, a guy who was literally kind of living out a childhood dream, getting to own his favorite sports team. And as we've been emphasizing, not doing it to show off, not doing it so he could make a lot of money, doing it because he genuinely cared about the team, generally was a fan of the team, a fan of the organization, a supporter of the city and a supporter of the community, and wanted to make it better again, and wanted to make the Elks be the flagship franchise of the Canadian Football League, which you can't say that they have been for a long time. So that's the big and unfortunate story this afternoon. Larry Thompson, the owner of the Edmonton Elks, has passed away at the age of 65. More on that, of course. We'll continue to cover it on Edmonton Sports Talk tomorrow. Our live stream resumes at 6:04 a.m. with the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric on iHeartRadio, on TuneIn Radio, and on YouTube. And the Nielsen Show is on your good old-fashioned radio, FM radio, Cruise 95.7 FM, 6:04 to 9 every morning. And then the rest of our great programming comes to you through all those streaming platforms. Larry Thompson, the owner of the Edmonton Elks, has tragically passed away, complications from surgery. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a good night.